What is up, everybody? How's it going? Hey, bro, what's up? How's it going? Starground moment? Yeah. Every stream is a Starground moment. That's crazy. How are you guys doing? How was your holidays? How was that? Was it good? Hope it was. Yeah, mine was good. I didn't really do much. It was mostly just, kind of just taking a break. But, where's the hat? I don't think I have a Santa hat. I wanted to do it, but yeah, I couldn't find it. So, I apologize. Here, we can edit one in, don't worry. Santa hat. PNG. This'll work, don't worry. Here, this one's perfect. Let's save this. Desktop. And let's add it. Let's flip it. How do I flip? Transform? Flip horizontal. A little too big. Yeah. Are we good now? Now I got a Santa hat. Wonder if people seeing the preview might think it's real. It is definitely not real. This one looks pretty good, actually. This one almost looks like real. Because it has the same, like, lighting. Maybe we should try this one out. I kind of want to try this one because I think it'll look really good. That's not bad. If you guys didn't know it was fake, maybe for a second you'd think it was real, right? I have to be careful not to move my head too much. Alright, well anyways, today I would like to get this freaking editable terrain kind of set up. It's been a lot of work trying to implement this. I've spent many days. I didn't realize it was going to be this hard. I kind of almost wish I did a bug fix update before this, but yeah, I didn't. So it's too late, but it's okay. We'll just get it working, I guess. Yeah, the main things that we have to do, I'll show you guys what I have. Let's go to streaming. I have the sort of the main stuff working. Let me just show you. So I want to look up one thing. Does Godot have head tracking? They have hand tracking. No. That's okay. Maybe one day we'll add head tracking. All right, so let's load up our good old. Let's just load a new save. And I'll show you guys what's going on right now. So I have it set up where you can break tiles and place them. Right, that's old dandy. Game seems really loud. So how it works right now is if you hold your mining tool and you press H, it swaps your tool. So now I have a shovel equipped. So this is the new tool coming to Starground soon. And then it pops up with this little square overlay, and this is going to be like the tile editor tool, basically. So it's going to be for land tiles, but also eventually like floor decorations when we get there. So yeah, you just click, and it erases tiles. It's pretty straightforward. I haven't done animations or anything for it yet, so it's pretty basic, but yeah. And pretty simple in practice. One thing that I do have to fix is the resources, because right now they like if I break this resource and then I break the tile underneath, it will just spawn back, I think, floating, which is yeah, not really ideal. I do need to implement a different, yeah, see, it just does that. So I've got to work on a different way to spawn those in. But yeah, you can also, there's now a land tile building, so you can just place it down and it puts tiles back down. One thing I have noticed is that sometimes it doesn't like add up. Like watch, if we fill this in, you'll see we don't have enough. So somewhere it's like deleting tiles, or it places two in the same spot, and then you lose an item. So I have to fix that. Obviously that's a big issue, because if you dig out an area, you want to have the exact amount to refill it. If you go really slow, it's fine, but for some reason when you go fast, I think what it is it takes a second for the physics mask of the tile to update. And so if you place them too fast on top of each other, it will what's the word? It won't realize that the tile exists there yet, and so it'll place another tile on top of it, and that's, yeah, kind of a problem. So there's going to be some things like that we're definitely going to figure out. But we're getting there. But it's working. I mean, you can you can dig out tiles, which is a good first step, you know. Let's make the Starground guy. You can do tile pixel art now. You know, like this. Check it out, it's the Starground guy. So yeah, it's cool. I mean, there's not too much more to do with it. It's just, I mean, there is some of the things we're gonna have to figure out, which are gonna be the hard parts. We have to figure out how to save this data, and then also how to sync it on multiplayer. And those are going to be kind of the big challenges, right? Because that stuff is not easy. Look at this guy. He's crazy. So, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be really hard to figure that stuff out. I am not sure how I'm going to do it. I'm wondering if the saving and loading is fast enough to where I just don't even have to bother optimizing the tiles. And it might just be fine to just load in an array and set the tiles, because it seems like Godot is very fast with that kind of thing. So it might actually be okay on that part. The hard part, though, is going to be then multiplayer synchronization. Because we have to load all the tiles initially when the player joins, and then we have to continually update the new tile map every time somebody modifies it. So, what? What is that? What is that from? Yuck. I gotta get rid of that. So yeah, I don't know. Lots of things to figure out, but once it's all set up, it should be pretty epic. So yeah. And then we can finally edit terrain, and then we can work on some more animation stuff for it and all that business. So let's just get started on saving this data, right? So I have, what I can do is this. We can just say in multiplayer setup, we'll just do it here because why not? So I'll say var, I can't type, modified tiles. I really hate that caps lock thing. What is that from? Is that from my Logitech thing I just installed? I installed this thing for a new mouse I was trying out, which, well, turns out I didn't really like it because it kept lagging weird. But I think this may be displaying that garbage over my screen. Unless it's a Windows thing. Maybe it is. I don't know what it would be. Is it G-Hub? No. What is this from? Do you guys know? Because this is weird. I don't know. Very weird. Is this just Windows? I'll just look it up. So just go to the keyboard settings. Oh, that's not. I want to get rid of this. It seems almost like a Windows thing, but I don't know. Where would that be? Let's just take a look at this video really quick. Sorry, guys. So what's going on here? Toggle keys. I have it off. Oh no. So it's not that? God, what have I done? What is it from? It looks like a Logitech thing, but I don't know. I don't even have it open though. That's what's really weird. It is Logitech options, yeah. Where do I change that then in Logitech options? I'm gonna also unplug that mouse because I'm not using it. Okay. Is it still doing it? Yeah. Okay. How do I disable this garbage? Don't use recommendations. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, that was annoying. Okay. Well, thank you. All right, so modified tiles. Anyways, let's get back to what we're doing. So this is going to be just a list of all the tiles that we've modified. And I'm not sure how I'm going to do this yet. I guess what I'll do is make this a dictionary in case we want to add on modified tiles for other worlds. Gotta try and future-proof things. So basically, I'm just going to have a big list of coordinates. So I'll say Viridian. And it's going to be an array of coordinates. How do I want to format this? So I figure what we'd do is have the coordinate and whether it's a land tile or a water tile, right? So it would say, you know, I guess it could either be a sub-dictionary or a sub-array or another dictionary. We could do a dictionary with position, vector 2, and then just a thing that's whether it's land or not, so that'll be true or false. Okay, so we'll try that. So hopefully that works. Yeah, I mean, I know exactly how to fix it. It's not in the update yet, but I can go do that like now in 2 seconds. All I have to do is just go to where we load in the scenes. It's like an instantiate object or whatever you call it. Unless my Godot is being a little slow. Let's close our scripts. So if we go to load game, there's the oh yeah, I took that function out because now I just have it in the same thing. It's kind of better that way. Okay, initiate object, and then we can just check the position of this object, and it's pretty easy to fix. Actually, it's in the saver component, I'm pretty sure. So let's go do it there. Because in here it sets the position. So that's saving. I'm just going to go into load. And then we're going to say... if data.position.x is equal to nan. Or I think I do dot is nan. Or do I just say is nan like this? Yeah. Then we're going to say data.position.x is equal to 0. And same thing if is nan data.position.y. Data.position.y is equal to 0. Okay. So that should fix your nan issue. If you want to send me your save, I can load it up and just double check and make sure that it does. I don't think I have a nan save, so yeah, feel free to. So let's see, where were we? We're gonna do the tile stuff. So let's go into land tile, and all we're gonna do is when this gets created, we're gonna say. I guess actually the position can be the key of this. No, it won't have a key because it's, yeah. So I want this to be, I'm just trying to think. Is it better for this to be a dictionary of keys? Right, and then each one is a position? I don't know. I don't know what's faster. Is it faster to just traverse an array and do all the stuff, or is it faster to grab it from a dictionary, you know? I guess the benefit is that I can grab from a very specific coordinate, you know? So I guess we'll do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, well, here, I got to add this back to our thing here. So Viridian... okay. And I'm also just gonna make a little function for this too. I think it's gonna be function set modified tile. And then this will be tile pause, which will be a vector 2i. And then we need, well, really we need a region ID. Tile position, and then the is land. Right. So then this will just say modified tiles dot get or add, right? So first we're going to say modified tiles dot get region ID. Excuse me. If region. So let me check what we got here. Okay, you did send me the save epic. I will download that and we'll load it up into the game and just make sure that it works. Should work fine, but yeah. So if region, then we're gonna say var tile. So get or add. Yeah, we'll return null if it doesn't. Yeah. So what we're gonna add is this. So it's the key that we're gonna add, which is gonna be the tile position. And then the value will be is land or okay, I see. So it'll just return that. So gets a value, ensures the key is set. The key exists in the dictionary as many as I get, otherwise the default value is inserted into the dictionary. Okay. So the default value is what will get inserted, so I want to insert is land. Hopefully that works. So we're going to get the region, we're going to say if region, then tile is modified tiles that get or add. The tile position, whether it's land or not. So that should work, theoretically. We'll see. Let's go back to land tile. And now we're going to go run that function. So let's get main. Get node. I really do need to have a static reference to that. I'll try and do that at some point. Set. What is it called? Set modified tile. Main I set modified tile. The region ID is just going to be just oops. Starground region Viridian. The tile position is going to be tile pause. And is land will be true. So hopefully that'll add it back correctly. And then we basically just do the opposite. What is this? Oh yeah, add on ready. So then we just do the opposite for when we break a tile. So let's go to our player script. Player. And it's in break tile. So as long as all this stuff is valid. Blah, blah, blah. We'll go ahead and say main, that's it, modified tile, tile position false, because now it is water. Alright. So hopefully that works. I'm gonna go also print out whatever modified tiles is every time, just so that we can see how it's changing. So print modified tiles. Alright. So, we probably have to restart the game. I'll also go ahead and load up your save now, Oshik. We can check that out. I got water. That's the good stuff. Man position. Alright, let's put your save in. Alrighty. Let's go find it. Nan position. And let's load it. So you should have... The skateboard should just be at 0, 0 then. Kind of want to add a loading bar to this screen. I don't know if I can, but I'll see what I can do. Got some errors. I don't know what these would be. Keep saying that. I don't know why it complains about that. Has no tile at 1, 0. I mean, I'm not setting a tile at 1, 0, right? No. So I don't know why it always complains about that. It's kind of weird. Resource generation took 37 seconds? How big is your world? What's the size of your world? Oh, this is a pretty big world. Is this a 1,000 tile world? Oshik? I think it is. I should display the world size up in the top left. But yeah, it looks like it worked though. The skateboard's back at 0, 0. Oh, that's problematic. I can't Oh. You know what we'll do instead? I'm just gonna make it so if anything has nan, it just deletes itself. Oh, you're playing, no problem. Yeah, so it worked. It moved your skateboard back to the spawn. I'm just wondering, how big is your world? Is it like 1,000 by 1,000 world? Is that the size of it? Because that's huge. Did you mod the game to make that save? Let's see, load game. Okay, it is 512 by 512, yeah. Yeah, you can't even make worlds that big anymore. Yeah. Hopefully one day I can make it so you can. We'd have to optimize our resource generation stuff though. Maybe what I could do is do it with like chunking, where it won't actually instantiate the node until a player walks into the region where it needs to generate. That would be definitely interesting. So let's snooze that ad. Yeah, I'm just gonna make it delete anything that's in the void, because it's gonna cause issues if I teleport stuff back to 0, 0. I'll just say queue free. Alright. Let me load the game back up. I want to check that tile list thing. Okay. Man, it sucks that we got mixed rating now, and this always happens. It's just because of the recent ratings, if someone leaves a negative review, it like really sways things. And then we always end up with a terrible recent rating. It looks so bad on the Steam page. It does affect sales every time that happens, which really sucks. I've noticed sales have like halved today because of that, so that's super cool and fun. It'll go away eventually though. Alright. So let's try this out. We're gonna mine a tile. So it's not working at all. Let's go see what's going on here. It is running the function though. Oh, I need to say region.getterAdd. And now it's not printing? Or is it that Godot is frozen? I think it's like Godot is frozen. I don't know why it's still printing null. I don't know. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to do this right, I guess. Okay, so dictionary. I don't know if there's any function to just add. There's get. Really, the only one is get or add. So we're gonna get a value. So the key exists, it behaves like get, otherwise the default value is inserted into the dictionary and returned. Get or add. Tile position, and whether it's land or not. I'm not sure why it doesn't work. I'm not getting any errors thrown. I'm not really sure. See, sometimes there's like weirdness that happens with the tiles, but it's super rare, and I'm not gonna worry about it, hopefully. Yeah, I don't know why it's not working. It's so annoying. Okay. Well, how else can I add to a dictionary? I don't think I can, right? I mean, I guess I can just access it at something and then set the value. So we can probably just say, like, region tile position is equal to is land. Right? I don't know if this will work. I don't know what's going on with this. Oh, I'm so stupid. That's why. I realized all my issues, guys. For some reason, I set this as Viridian instead of the ID. Starground region Viridian. That's probably the only issue here. Oh, I'm stupid. Now, I realize this doesn't really work because it works when the key is that, but what we need to do is set the data to... Okay, so we'll do this. Say var existing data is region dot get tile pos. And then if existing data else so if we have data, then we're just gonna say existing data, and then we're gonna access is land be equal to is land. Otherwise, we're gonna say region at tile position is equal to a dictionary, with is land evaluating to is land. Hopefully that'll work. So if we modify the same tile instead of adding a new one, it's just gonna, because right, there's only one, there can only be one key of each position. And so it ensures that we don't end up with weird cases where there's like multiple of the same tile or something. Yeah, I don't know if it's faster to access an array or a dictionary. Let me look it up. Let's see. Linear storage of units. So insert and lookup. So it's pretty minor differences, I guess. Looks like an array could be slightly faster. It's very interesting that lookup is faster on an array. So we might want to do an array, as it turns out. Which is probably a good idea, I guess. But I do like having this list, but it's only the modified tiles, so I guess it doesn't matter. Well, maybe we'll go ahead and do an array then. Well, I guess the only thing though is with an array, we have to check if a tile exists though, like if it already is in the list, which would really add on to the time. With a dictionary, it's just a matter of checking the key, and then, well, if you don't have it, we don't have it. So I guess that's the one reason. So I'll wait on changing that. So this is still not working. That's annoying. So region is modify tiles that get region ID. If region, I'm gonna print what region is. If the output would do stuff. So it's saying that region doesn't exist. I mean, where am I setting the region? Starground region Viridian. Viridian. I don't know what's wrong. I'm gonna print region ID. Make sure that's not weird. Wait for that to appear. Starground region Viridian. So I mean the ID is fine. For some reason it doesn't seem to get it. I'm looking for like a misspelling, but it's not misspelled, so I'm not sure what the issue is. Hey Belden, what's up? Just left a short positive review on Starground. I appreciate that. Thanks so much for that. That's awesome. Yeah, thank you very much. That's really cool. Yeah, don't ever think that I'm like asking for positive reviews. I would never do that because that's goes against the whole point of reviews, right? But yeah, I appreciate it though. So modified tiles I get. It should be getting it. So I don't know why it's not getting it. I'm passing in the region ID. This is odd. I'm just gonna print region. Does it just not work? Does it just return null? No, it is returning it. Is it because the dictionary is empty? Does an empty dictionary evaluate to false? Maybe. If that's true, that's gonna be an interesting thing. I'm gonna have to change some code probably. Let's try this. I mean, no. That doesn't seem to matter. It's just still not even printing it, which is so weird. I don't know what's going on here. I can't seem to say get region. If region. That doesn't seem to work. It did throw an error. What was that error? It didn't. Never mind. It's just the warnings. I don't know what's going on here. It's obviously returning a dictionary. It's just an empty one, but it's not printing anything. Yeah, these are just on load. These aren't actually an issue. For some reason in the generate script somewhere it's creating a tile, or it's trying to access tile 1-0. I deleted that tile because it's just an empty tile and doesn't do anything. So I don't know why that's happening. I'll have to figure out what's up with that error. But I don't think that has anything to do with this stuff, though. This is just puzzling me right now. Because I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I'm getting the region, and it just returns an empty dictionary, which is what I want. Right? Because that's what we have up here. And then I'm going to say... I'm printing right here, so it should work. Right? Is it just not updating my code? Or something? Like here, let's get rid of the print modified tiles thing. Let's clean it again. No, like it is updating the code, so what's going on? I don't understand this. I mean, I can just not check if region exists, but that's... If you ever call it in a region that doesn't exist, it'll crash. See, I mean, now it prints it. That's so weird. Unless I'm, I wonder... I could be... like overriding a thing if something else in here is named region. I don't think it is, but no. Yeah, when I do that, when I print region, it just prints out like an empty dictionary, because that's what it is, right? So that's why I'm so puzzled as to why this is not working. Well, now it's not an empty dictionary, because I am not checking for it anymore, but... It's so weird, though. I mean, it's fine now, obviously, but... Yeah. I don't know. Because, yeah, we can stop printing that. I mean, maybe it's just because it's empty, and so, like, if you check what it is, it's... I guess what I can say is this. This might work better. This is probably our issue, or at least part of it. We can say if region is not equal to null. I guess I can't just check if it's true, because I think an empty dictionary evaluates to false, and that's why it wasn't working. Yeah. Yeah, empty dictionary is false, yeah. So, I didn't know that. I thought a dictionary would just be true, because it's a data, because it's like a variant. I had no idea that it evaluated to false. That's definitely interesting. I do wonder if some of our issues in other places in the code is linked to me making that assumption. I don't know. Because I feel like I've probably assumed in the past that it just isn't false. I might have to take a look at all that stuff. But we'll take it as it comes. Yeah, this is working now. So it'll just keep a big list of every tile that's been modified. So like if we modify these again, it'll just, you can see it's not adding in new tiles. It's just setting those ones back to false. So now we just have a nice big list of all the modified tiles. Cool. So it's really easy then for saving the game. We can just go down to our save game function. Once this loads, save game. And then in our world data, I'm just going to append on modified tiles. Right? And then I'm also going to set modified tiles back to this empty thing whenever we start. Go back to the main menu in here. Really, it's in the reset, load game reset. Put it here. All right. Ask how you achieve the chessboard look. Are those two tiles with rules or some shader stuff? Yeah, so they're actually just another tile set overlaid on top of the tiles. It was pretty easy way of doing it. So all it is just I'll show you. The reason I did that, I initially was setting it up where I just had different sprites for the different land tiles, but I didn't like that. Oh yeah, I need to erase this stuff in here. That was... Stuff's not supposed to be here. Hold on, guys. Can I erase? Okay, Godot. Am I doing something wrong? Select all layers. Okay, I just moved that. Why can't I erase? Oh, it's because I'm in the frickin'... That's why. Okay. So yeah, I have two things. I have this regular terrain layer, then a checkerboard. It's the checker layer. It's raining. All that does is if I go to our world generator script, which is where it actually like handles all the stuff. In here, it's just checking... It's just doing some modulo stuff. So this is the position. So it's saying if our X is 0, and then it's just, you know, how the world generation works. It scans through in horizontal lines to set the tiles. And so it's just checking, is this an even or an odd number? Then set the checker. And then the next one is checking as long as it's on the other column, the odd column or whatever, then it works. So it's pretty easy. It's just this quick little check here and then setting the checker thing at the position. So, yeah. Yeah, I have it all set up so that when I place the land tiles back down or I break them, it also updates the checker pattern on top. So it looks like it's just a part of the tile, even though it's actually a different tile technically. So yeah. And as you can see, when I add it back, it also resets it. So yeah, it actually works pretty well. Alright, so I am going to do this. We're just going to break some tiles. And I'm curious to see what happens. I'm just going to save the game as tile test. And we're going to exit. So what I'm going to do now inside of our world generator script, I need to actually set those tiles, right? So let's see, generate. So this is in get use cells. Okay, so we're just gonna do it right before here. It's starting the auto tiling. I'll do it right here. So I'm gonna say, I think I referenced main dot modified tiles dot get region Viridian. So region tiles will be that, and then I'm just gonna say for I in region tiles. I guess first I'll say if tiles not equal to null. For I in region tiles, We're going to say region tiles dot get I. And then I'm going to say here terrain dot set cell. Actually, it's going to be this. So this is setting the random decorations. I'm going to say if that, then terrain. Or am I getting terrain? Oh, it's just not a J and I. And also, I have to say here also, if tile... First off, I have to say if tile is not null. If tile dot is land, then we set it to that. Otherwise, we're gonna say terrain dot set cell vector 2i, or actually it's just at I because that's the thing. And then source ID will be 1, and we're going to say vector 2i, -1, -1. So this will set it to an empty tile here, because that's going to be when it's water. And then here is when it's going to be just regular land. So we'll set it at I, pick random. Okay. I don't know if it's going to work, and we also have to check and make sure it's performant, because I presume on really large maps it might have a little bit of a performance impact, but I'm not sure how bad it would be. I don't think it'll be that bad. The only downside to this method is just that the save size might be a little big if you like modify the entire map, but honestly it won't be that big, right? So I don't think it'll be too bad. So let's go back to our save, tile test. Yeah, let's just see what happens. See, the auto tiling still only took 393 milliseconds, which is practically nothing. And let's go see what our tiles look like. So it did not save. Okay. Didn't work. Let's try it again. It could be that it just didn't save it right. Oh, it's actually probably that we didn't load it. I think that's what we did. I didn't actually add in the code to load it. Yeah. We have to say in here, modified tiles equals world data dot get modified tiles, and the default will just be modified tiles. I guess that works. You can just set the default to itself. All right, so I just saved it. Let's try this again. I hope it works. Whoa. All right, guys, it worked. So it saved the tiles and it loaded them back in. So that's definitely promising. That's a very good start. What I'd like to do is really modify things a lot more. So I'm going to give myself land tile, just a bunch of land tiles. And we're just going to fill in a massive area with land tiles and save it. So I'm going to fill in a square here. We'll attach this island to this other one. I just want to fill in like thousands of these and see how long it takes. So the other save, or not, yeah, but when we saved this initially, it took 400 milliseconds for the tiling, which isn't the worst ever. I could separate that out into another print statement just so we can see exactly how long loading the tiles actually takes, but I can't imagine it would be that bad. I think I do print out how long it takes to load the world data. Yeah, it took 171 milliseconds. That's not that long. for all that data. Really, the rest of the lag is just instantiating the objects and generating the world and the resources and all that business. This is really promising, though. This might actually work out just fine. Not even doing any, like, compression stuff. My original plan was, to convert these regions into just bigger squares so that when we save it, the data's way smaller. But honestly, I don't think the data's actually that big. Even if we had, like... I mean, what's the maximum amount of data we could have here, right? Say we have a 256 by 256 world. It's 65,000, which is only 65 kilobytes. That's not that much. When you really think about it, I guess. So it's probably okay. Well, it's not gonna be 1 byte. It'll probably be more than that, but it's never gonna... I mean, as long as it stays under a megabyte, I feel like I'm pretty fine with that, you know? There's saves that can... in some games that can go up to gigabytes, so... Alright, we filled in all the tiles, so this is a big old stretch of land. Let's resave. And tile test. I'm just gonna make a new save with 4. Tile test. Alright, we've saved the game. Did it take a long time to save? I don't think it did. No, it only took a second. Alright, let's go load tile test. I'm just curious to see what the performance is on this. As long as we're under a second of time for the tile loading, I really think that's fine. Honestly. Oh, yeah. Nothing. It didn't even struggle at all. Now, I do notice one issue here is that we have to fix the tile checker stuff, but we'll do that. Yeah, that was nothing. It didn't even take half a second to do all of those tiles. It literally took... Like, I can't even tell what... Like, there's no observable difference in the time. So... This is the thing, it's actually extremely fast to load things in from a big list. You'd think it'd be really slow or something, but it's not actually that bad. And that's why I didn't mess with the algorithm first. I just wanted to check and see if this was gonna be, how performant this was gonna be, and it seems like it's totally fine, so. Alright. So... yeah, I mean, it works. And we can break these tiles and stuff, and yeah. Now, there's still a couple bugs that we have to figure out, obviously. Oh yeah, it also saved my inventory of land tiles. So one thing we have to work on is these resources spawning weird. One thing that tends to happen is that, like if you put tiles over oil or something, it doesn't turn into a different resource, it just stays as oil. And so it just kind of goes away, which isn't ideal, right? So we have to figure out how to change that behavior. So yeah, I have to set it so I can't do it on the shore, yeah. Yeah, the tiles, the shore tiles technically have a collision box. It's easier when it's like up here, but... Sick. We're so close to getting this terrain stuff working. Now, the big challenge is really gonna just be the multiplayer stuff. Trying to, like, load and sync these tiles to all the people on multiplayer. I'm not quite sure how we're gonna do that just yet, because that is a big challenge. Because there can be a lot of tiles with that stuff, right? It can be thousands and thousands, and it's just going to be too big to be able to send as packets. I can look up the maximum packet size. 64 kilobytes. which is 1,500 bytes. Interesting. Generally low, yeah. So I probably just want to split the packets up and maybe just send over a packet for every single tile. Now, I'm not sure about the performance of that. If we have 65,000 tiles and I send over 65,000 packets, that seems very slow. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not sure. I do that kind of thing with the research, where I send over a packet for every single research entry because I realized at some point that the research stuff was getting too big. But yeah, we're gonna have to figure this out. I think it's also time to make some changes to the minimap because it's obviously not loading in our new tile stuff. So let's see here. Let's go to our world generator. One thing I'm also going to do is, instead of doing the checker logic stuff in here, I'm just going to loop through all the tiles again. Which I think we do. It's right here. So we just say get used cells. I'm just going to do our checker check in there. It's just going to be easier, I think. So we like settle our tiles, and then in here is where I do the checkers. That way after we spawn in our tiles, it doesn't like mess stuff up. So this is gonna give us, I need to say I.x. And that's J, yeah. And then I becomes I.y. Hopefully that'll fix that. And then this will just become I. Alrighty. So I'm gonna reload the game and just see if that does anything. Uh-oh. What do you mean there's an invalid? No function name generate. What do you mean? Alright. Let's restart the game. So I do this twice for both regions, right? Oh yeah, I don't have to auto tile the gem ones really. Those ones I only auto tile the edges. I don't have to do the inside, which is kind of nice. Okay, well that totally worked just fine. Settle the tiles properly. Looking nice. Okay. So that's set up. So we're getting there. Next step is gonna be doing, let's see here, the mini-map. Let's snooze that ad. So the way the mini-map has always worked before is, it will regenerate the map given the seed of the save and stuff, which works, but then we get into issues now with modifiable terrain because obviously it's not updating anymore. So let's go to the player where we have the minimap. Okay, minimap. Alrighty. So in here we have this thing, it's update map. So it gets the map stuff with the noise. But I don't know, maybe it's better not to do it that way. When we get the region ID, I'm gonna try something just for fun. I just want to see the performance of this. So we're going to say body API that get tile map at position. Can I get tile map? Might make a new function. I need to do one that's get tile map from ID. Oops. So this is a get tile map at position. I'm gonna say get tile map from ID. And then we're just gonna pass in the region ID. So tile map, selected region. We don't have to do that anymore. So we just have to say var region is get region. I have the region ID. I guess I just say global.regions table.get region ID. And then we're just gonna say region. And then tile map will be that. Selected region is just gonna be region.tilemap. Alright, that should work. So back to our mini map. We're gonna say get tile map from ID, region ID, and that should work. Let me go ahead and close the game again. So, now it's not that hard. Hopefully I can just say that's tile map, but then we're gonna say var tiles is tile map dot get used cells. And yeah. Really I'm just gonna go through and set the image pixel for every single one. So where do I get image? Trying to look for where that is. Okay, it's right here. So image is that, and then we're just gonna say for I and tiles, image.setPixel, I.x, I.y. Shore color. Which I guess we do need to loop through the entire map because we also have to set the watercolor, which is fine. But I don't have to do the noise stuff anymore. So we're looping through the entire map. Not gonna do the short color stuff anymore. I think it's looks nice, but it doesn't work nice. So I'm gonna see what it looks like without it, just for fun. So I'm gonna say if tiles.has vector 2i ij, then we're gonna set it at ij at terrain color. Otherwise we set ij watercolor. Alright, so that'll be our new way of doing it. I don't know if it'll work, I'm gonna be honest, but I'm curious to see. So let's load it up. Let's see what happens. Ugh. Let's load this. I'm excited and also worried that it won't work at all. We'll see. I might have to track the time it takes for the mini-map to generate. Oh, it's null? That's definitely interesting. I wouldn't think it would be null. Tile map from ID. I'm going to say region is global.regionstable.get. Huh. So the region is null? Hold on here. I'm not sure how that would be. Because I have region ID, so we're going to say get tile map from ID. Oh, it's because it's getting it from Enceladus. So it's fine. We just have to say if tile map. And that should fix that issue. It'll probably break the minimap. Let's relaunch. Also, I believe that I'm making a miscalculation. I think I'm trying to set negative values on the image. Because I think we start at negative world coordinates. Maybe. Do we? No, we just say firing range map size, so we might be okay. Let's try loading our world again. So it's not generating the map. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, I have to say, I think I missed some things here that I need to do. Let's try that. I have to say initial load and update texture. Love to start working with inverted if statements, like if your case, yeah. If tile map is null, return. Interesting. Yeah, so you're just saying like early escape conditions, essentially. Instead of having it like this, where it's just a big if statement. So I could just say if tile map, or if not tile map, then we return. Otherwise, we just have this indented normal. Yeah. Sometimes I do that. It's not that I don't like it, I just forget. I guess I would say. But yeah, I mean, that totally works too. It can be nice to do that for these kind of enclosed functions like this. Obviously, I can't do that anywhere like in the process event and stuff, but like here it works though, just fine. So yeah, we can do that. Definitely remind me if there's opportunities for that and I just forget. So guess I could do it in the process event. I don't know what happens if you return in the process event. I assume it just ends the current frame, but I don't actually know what happens. So that'd be interesting to see. Okay, let's try this again. I guess you could think the process event is just a function that gets continually called from a signal. I don't know. All right, so loaded in the map. Yes, this map doesn't have the shore stuff, but it is more accurate. Because it has all the tiles, including the modified ones, which I think is more important than looking pretty. What I could do is probably change the colors of this a little bit so that the map's easier to see, has more contrast. We could load up one of our other saves here just to see what it looks like. It should look fine, but we can also go down to the what's the word? Tyria. Yeah, so it looks fine here. Let's teleport to Tyria and see what it looks like. Looks normal, yeah. Alright, so yeah, doing this will probably be better, because if we're gonna start modifying terrain, we kind of need it, right? Now, the only thing I think is it won't update these if I place down new tiles, yeah. So we have to, change that behavior. I'm not sure why it doesn't draw buildings. Because I would think it does. I guess it just doesn't inherit buildable? It does. It's because I don't call super. That's what's happening. Interesting. But see, if I did that, then it'll probably start showing that the tiles are buildings. It'll look weird. Let's restart the game and check. Yeah, I'll end the frame, get called again. Sometimes I like it this way because you can see your board condition directly in the if statement. Yeah, so you don't have to have a million indents, yeah. No, it's definitely nice. It's a lot easier to see stuff like that. I should probably do that more often, honestly. Because there are some spots in the game where the if statements get pretty nasty. So yeah. Was I gonna load? Guess it doesn't matter. Let's just load this. I'm trying to see if it would make all the tiles just be buildings on the minimap. I'm not really sure what it's gonna do, but it's not, which is interesting because it technically should be. Because it is a building. So I'm not sure why it doesn't work. Not that I care, but, you know. Because it extends buildable, and in ready I call the minimap check, right? Somewhere in here. I say, yeah, minimap draw building, global position self true. I don't know why it doesn't work. I mean, here, does it work with other normal buildings? It should. Skip ironing 99. Yeah, it does. I just don't know why the land tile doesn't seem to be doing it. I mean, it's not an issue, but I would like to have the behavior be predictable. So. Wonder how I can add in those shore tiles back into the minimap. Just trying to think how we could do that. Because I do like how it looks, you know, like when you're creating the new world, it shows like the shore. Although I guess it does cause issues, though, if you think about it. Because what'll happen sometimes is on water level 0, it shows that there's water there, but there's not actually water. So... kind of interesting. I am actually curious, what if I just loaded that in with water? See, now it doesn't actually have the water, unless it just spawned in the little starting square. So let's increase the world size so it's up in the corner. I just want to see what this looks like. This is taking a long time to load. Did something happen? What is this? to disconnect non-existent connection. Okay. Can't see the tooltips. Yeah, there's not actually water here. It's kind of a weird artifact in the main menu when you're creating a new world. So I would like to fix that too. Because it can be very confusing to people where it's like, oh, there's a water thing here, but then you actually load into the game and there's no water. So yeah, that's one thing I'd like to do. We're gonna have to figure out new colors though, so it's easier to see the land and stuff, which isn't a big deal. Okay. So what would be the new coloring for the land? I do like the land being the same color as the grass, but sometimes it's kind of hard to see, like the orange, though, I've noticed. We go back into our regions table. Maybe we should change those colors just a little bit. So I'm thinking about changing the grass to this color, which is just a little bit of a darker green. Look like being in a meeting, getting a funny message on the phone, trying not to smile. Yeah, no, I did get a funny message. It's yeah. Let's use this watercolor. This might be a little bit easier to see. So this should be a little bit darker, and I think it'll help because it'll make the logistic stuff easier to see, because sometimes that orange and green, like it has the same contrast. Obviously I can see it, but for colorblind people that would be really hard. So I don't want that to be the case. And then the darker water should hopefully keep the land color kind of distinct. So we'll see. I do like the contrast of like the land being bright on the outside like that, so maybe we can work in a way to keep it like that, because it does look kind of nice, but we'll see. Yeah, so now the land's just a little darker. It should help with the conveyor stuff, so give iron ingot 99. Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier to see on that darker green. I mean, what's the difference? We have that, and then we have the bright yellow for the actual buildings. We could change it to make the logistics like a completely different color. I'm not exactly sure what it would be. Do some other colors in here. I think I just have it set as this darker orange. As this orange? Yeah. Which might be too dark. Maybe we almost do like a completely different color somehow. I'm not sure. We could do this color for the logistics, I guess. And if we go back to the mini-map, the logistics color will change into this one. Wait, that is what it is. Oh. Maybe we could go a brighter yellow, honestly. So the logistics color would be that one. And let's do like an even brighter yellow. Thinking like this for the buildings. Just to up the contrast as much as we can. Did you follow any tutorial series or something to get into the whole UI and theme stuff in Godot? I didn't, actually, honestly. It was just sort of trial and error. Messing around with the different things I can do with it until I figure out what does what. So it's not too bad once you kind of get used to all the different functions and stuff. I mean, I'm always happy to go over it if you want me to. Let's see, I think I'm going to change the terrain color back, because I don't know, it looks kind of weird to me. Shoot, what was the watercolor, though? I think it was just... I have to go load it up. Yeah, well, it's not too bad. I mean, it's definitely daunting at first, especially because I haven't really done a whole lot of UI stuff before then. The only UI stuff I did was with, like, the GameMaker UI stuff, which UI in GameMaker really sucks. It's kind of terrible. The Godot UI system is, once you, like, actually learn how to use it, it's really awesome. So, no, this is still... Okay. I gotta go into the water shader, I guess, and grab the color. Let's see, water. Yeah, I blundered. Okay, let's grab this color. And back into our region stable. And watercolor, we'll change to that. Don't like that's lowercase though. Okay. But yeah, UI stuff. A lot of work, but it is really cool once it's all set up. Really, it's just usually a combination of H boxes and V boxes to kind of arrange things how you want. Once you understand what each node does, you can kind of really start to go crazy with the UI. Like, I'll just go to one of the UIs I've created, for example, like the research table. Or not the research table, the research display, research menu. So this is the research menu. It's pretty straightforward. I just have a margin for all these boxes. You don't always use a margin, but a margin basically will just expand to all of its children. So it's kind of a nice container to have everything in. I have this blur thing, and that just blurs the background. That is a shader that I did, I think, so... For the actual background, like this border, I just have this 9-patch rectangle. And that's just set with this texture. And then I just got a V-box. Inside of the V-box, I have an H-box. And then inside of the H-box, I have another V-box. It's just a whole lot of V-boxes and H-boxes. So... And there's a lot of useful containers. There's scroll containers, there's grid containers, there's underlines and labels and check buttons, and there's all sorts of pretty awesome nodes. So I think the best way to learn is just to take some time and just mess with it, you know? You could watch a tutorial and it would probably be fine, but I feel like I've learned a lot just grabbing a node from the list and seeing what it does and trying to figure it out. You know, it's kind of a really good, insightful way to figure out what they do. Yeah, I did edit the theme. So the theme wasn't too bad to edit. All you do is you just create a new theme, and then it has this little preview of all the buttons and stuff. So, like, let's say I want to change this button here. All I have to do is just click this eyedropper, click the button. Just realized that is an eyedropper. Why did we pick an eyedropper for the picker tool? That's weird. But you select whatever thing you want to change, then it has just a list of all the stuff. So, for example, if you want to change the background, just go into the this like colored square. It's like the styles thing, and you can add in your own custom styles onto here. Right. So it works really well. I haven't done all of the things. You can see there's some things that haven't been edited, like this tree and stuff, because I just don't use it. Also haven't used vertical sliders anywhere, so I just haven't edited them. But yeah. And that's how you do it. I've just gone through every single one of these and modified it. All these have like a unified background. So for example, all the buttons, I have this saved resource, this save style box, And this is just called, like, I have button hover, button normal, and button dark. So when I hover over the button, it's a different style from when it is when it's not hovered over, and when it's disabled, it's the dark one and stuff, you know. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah, you can edit all sorts of things in here. You can edit the margin container if you want in here. One thing I forgot to mention about the margin containers, you can add margins, and I do this all the time. It's so that your things don't slam into the side of the UI. You can set like a distance that things have to stay away from on the edges, and it's very nice. Yeah, once you actually learn UI stuff, it's really, really cool. You can make some really nice looking UIs. I'm not that good at it. I'm sure there's people that have made way better UIs than I ever have, but yeah. Yeah, let's figure out this minimap stuff. I want the shores to show up because I think it looks nice when they do. But I'm not sure how I'm gonna do it. So update map. I mean, what I could do is just check if there's surrounding land tiles and then draw in the shore. But I would imagine that might be kind of slow, so I don't know. Hey, Deblotto, what's up? Merry Christmas. Thank you. Belated Merry Christmas to you as well. How's it going? What have you been up to? Let's see. I'm gonna go to the mini-map. I'm actually gonna start tracking the time it takes for this initial setup, because I am curious to see. Creating mini-maps. Let's go. Thank you for the resub, Deblotto. For some reason, the dang it. We're supposed to have a little confetti thing play, but I'll play it. It's supposed to be connected up to the signals, but I think there's some issues with our overlay stuff and the Twitch signals. I'm gonna have to talk to Adagon about that maybe and try and figure out what's going on. But yeah, thank you very much for the resub. I appreciate it. Let's see. So tiling start. And then down here, we're just gonna say done. So that's the minimap. Yeah, it's frustrating. We had that same issue with it's with subs, then also there's another one. With the ad break stuff, it's supposed to send a message in chat, but it doesn't work. So also, sorry, let me respond to your thing you said before. Thanks, didn't want to interrupt your process right now. No, you're all good. Seems like you can build your whole UI, and later if you want to replace some art or something, you can just edit the theme. And yeah, that's what's really awesome about the theme is if you want to change how something looks, you don't have to go through every single UI in your project. You just change it in the global theme, and then it updates everywhere. So themes are very, 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 very good. If you're gonna make a UI, please, for the love of God, use themes, because it'll make your project 10 times easier. Another great thing about themes too is you can have variants. So you can add in these like custom types. For example, I have this one, which is a green button. And so for the green button, it overrides this normal look to be this green one. And so I use that now in the research menu for when a research is complete. It's super nice to be able to do that because I can have like offshoots of the button. So I can have like a red one or a green one. And then it's still linked up to my theme. I don't have to make a new theme for every single button. It's pretty awesome. Honestly, one of my favorite things about Godot, if I'm being real, the UI stuff, it's so nice to be able to use, man. And you can just make everything just work. It all scales to the size of your window, and it's great. So, yeah, I'd recommend it. Finally convinced myself to do a website that is just all about me, all my mental load. Just have wild theories in one place where I can keep in mind, so to speak. Yeah, it's really fun to make websites like that, honestly. Just kind of a dumping ground for your brain, you know? I've kind of made stuff like that. Like my Chip Plays website is basically that. Chipplays.com. It's just me making dumb stuff and writing out garbage, and I think I go to Earth, and then it's in like, which planet? Is it Venus, I think is the one? Like, this is just such a stupid thing. I just wrote out this whole thing just for fun. It doesn't mean anything, but it's kind of, I don't know. It's fun to just make stupid stuff every once in a while. But yeah, definitely do it. I'd love to see it. Send me a link when it's up. I do want to work on that website more. Eventually I will. Want to do something that really hits my vibe, so I'm in the process of creating my own terminal kind of. Yeah, see, that would be really cool. I actually knew somebody that did that same kind of thing. They had like a website that was a computer terminal, and to like go places, you had to type in the commands and stuff. It's pretty cool. Something I'm going to list public in the help command. Yeah, but most you're not going to do. Yeah, that's fun. So it's like a little, it's like an ARG kind of thing, or not an ARG, but like a little game. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that'd be really fun. I'd love to see that. I've always really thought about making a game that integrates with a website. I thought it would always be super cool if, like, as you're playing the game, you have to go to the website and do stuff, and, like, you know, I think that would just be kind of an interesting idea of, like, a game that's more, you're not like locked into this little window. It's like it becomes your whole computer is the game, I guess. I don't know what the game would be yet, obviously. I still have to think about ideas, but I think it'd be really cool though. So I don't know. Most of the passwords are gonna be internal jokes and stuff only me and my friends really know about. Yeah. Yeah, well, that'd be fun. It'd be fun to scan through like the code and stuff, like inspect element and try to figure out all the different passwords. Have to encrypt it or something. You'd have to use like a database so that I can't just see the check. So it'd be enough 5M kids to try and crack my website, and that was just stealing some of my scripts. Yeah. Okay, so how am I gonna do this? Just gonna use a database to store the HTML code it's gonna load there. Yeah, that works. Yeah, that totally works. Okay, I changed the minimap so that it would update with the new tiles that the player places down, but one issue is it doesn't really the issue is that it gets rid of the shore colors that we used to have. And I don't like that because it makes it harder to see where the terrain is. I would really like to figure out how I can make it work. I know in like a game like Factorio, it's funny because they just have a shore tile, but there isn't anything like that in Starground. It's just water. Right, so I'll have to figure out how I can do that. So I'm just enjoying the glass alcohol, working on my passion project. Nice, yeah. Yeah, it's fun to work on stuff just for fun. It's great to earn money from projects and stuff, of course it always is, but it does put a lot of pressure on you to like make stuff and like continue to support things, and you know, because I feel that a lot with Starground, where it's like I've gotta keep the content train going, you know. Sometimes it's really nice to just work on things without having to worry about the the financial or success part of it, you know? I don't know. Hopefully one day I'll be able to work on some more random fun side project things. So what I could do is check neighboring pixels. I do worry about the speed of that though. It might take a really long time to generate. I don't want it to take too long. I know it's only at the very beginning, but especially as we get into larger worlds, it's going to be exponential. So I don't want it to take 5,000 years. I am curious to see how long it takes with Oshik's world. Since that is a 512 world. So we could go to that one and see. Nan position. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Yeah, see, generating the noise only took 2,300 milliseconds. Well, I guess there's no terrain to edit, but yeah. Money's not really an issue more since I have my government work and all. Yeah. CH pays pretty well. Well, that's nice. Definitely, yeah, take advantage of that. I wish I had that. Didn't have to work for money. Man, if I could just make games for fun, I'd be going hard. I'd be going hard in the paint. The motivation would be unstoppable because it's just intrinsic, you know? There's no pressure attached. It's how it used to be making games. Honestly, it would just be just for fun. There wasn't any real prospect of making money from it. But well, now there is though. Yeah, it's definitely taking a long time, isn't it? It's kind of scarily long. This is taking a long time. Yeah, this is what I worried about with this mini-map stuff. Maybe what we do is instead of actually generating the entire terrain like this, we just go... We get the noise map and then we access the modified tiles list. So that it doesn't take 1,000 years, maybe. I guess this would be the benefit of like optimizing my tile regions. So that I can just like place down a square instead of having to do every individual tile. Because yeah, this is taking forever. Did it stop working? I mean, I presume that it's still going, but I don't know. Or my butt I would get there, the amount of networking I had to do family, etc. was wild. Yeah, I would imagine. Don't really enjoy that. Only the hacking part of financial freedom is pretty nice at this age. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, of course, that's... yeah. I mean, you earned it, so... You've been doing this Christmas? Doing great, I hope. Yeah, it's been pretty good. It's been nice to take a little bit of a break this week. I didn't stream on Wednesday, so it's just kind of a good time to relax and not work on anything, you know. It was good. Just spent time with family. We had a Christmas dinner, which was good. We all kind of made our own dishes and stuff for that. Yeah, it was nice. Just a chill, relaxed time. It seems like it's always like that whenever it's like a holiday or anything. We don't like... all we want to do is just not do anything. Oh, man, this is taking a long time. I think something happened, but I don't know. Is it really taking this long? Nah, this isn't right. Right? Why is this taking so long? Creating mini maps. And then I just say done. Yeah, something is obviously wrong. Oh. It failed. That's probably the issue. So it got a building with position of like an invalid position. Yeah. I think that's why it took 1,000,000 years. So we need to be careful about that. It's because there was that Nan item. It shouldn't ever happen again, but what I can do is check for valid positions first. So how can I check for that? Because I have to like convert it to... Okay, yeah, I do that there, don't I? So I get this chord value. So this is probably what I can do. No, but I need the region position for that. Okay. Let's see. Trying to think how I can do this. Because what happens if the value is null? I guess I'll just check if it's nan. If is nan pos.x or is nan pos.y. That or I just do this check at the very beginning in multiplayer setup where I do... this will probably be better. So I do this initiate object thing and I pass in this data for here, for current line. I'm just gonna say... Right, so as long as it exists, as long as none of that. If curline.position, let's see, is nan. So if that is nan or is nan curline.position.y, then we're also going to return. So that'll stop the object from being created if the position is invalid. So yeah, that should help. And then inside of where we do the save thing, let's just close out of that. Let's go into our minimap code again. That's all fine. Into our save component, I can say, don't worry about it anymore. This thing. Okay. Hopefully that'll work now. Let's try this again. Yeah, the nan position stuff can be kind of a problem sometimes. Okay. But this should stop the nan from happening before anything, so. The only issue I could see is if the player is at nan. That could be a problem. But I think the player position gets set to 0. We'll see what happens with that. That might actually be an issue, I'm not sure. It's going to generate the resources. That should probably take like 30 seconds or something. Give me 1 minute. I got to check something here. Okay, yeah, we're good. Oh god. It's crashing. I do think it might crash because what is probably happening on the saves at the player position is Nan. So it's going to cause a lot of issues. See, it didn't even create the layer, so that is an issue. What we'll do is just say in here, it'll only do that if, and just run path not equal to player path. And that way, the player won't get deleted. That's kind of a big problem. Then like might happening again where it like screws up. Hey, wait, this happens, man. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but sometimes my mic decides to do that. That's super annoying. Is that any better? Could have to do with the USB I have it plugged into. That is better? Okay. Yeah. I need to change my USB situation. No? Not better? Okay. Now it's better? Okay. Stop? Okay. I'm not gonna do anything. Yeah, I won't mess with it. I do need to add more USBs to my computer, because I'm completely out. The issue is that I need more USBs up on my desk, because it's a standing desk now, so I need to be able to raise it up. I need to get like a USB splitter, I guess. I don't know if it'll cause issues though and be slow or something on the USBs, I'm not sure. Is there a downside to USB splitters? I imagine it's just like a bandwidth limitation. But it's probably not a big deal. And yeah, it could be like latency and power supply issues, and I'm sure there's definitely could have some issues. But for most stuff, it'd probably be fine. Hey, Brian, what's up? How's it going? Outside, yeah, if you use it as like a charger, yeah. Yeah, I guess I could just use it for the stuff I don't really care about. Then try and swap it with anything else to a splitter. It still deleted the player, didn't it? Oh, I have to have this in parentheses. I think that's what happened. Because that has to be evaluated as one thing. God dang it. What fixed this last time was just unplugging my interface, so that's what I'm gonna do. Oops, raising my desk. Oh. Hey, RGB Protections, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. Hopefully my mic is all good. I just messed with it. Yeah, I think we're fine. Okay. Welcome in. Let me give you a shout out. There you go. How's it going? What are you up to today on your stream? Yeah, we just had some weird... If I'm still having mic issues, let me know, but hopefully it should have fixed everything. I hope. Yeah, welcome in, everyone. Joe Labs, Dev Guy, welcome. So, working on my Rhythm Games chart editor. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Yeah, if you got any links or anything for that, you're totally welcome to send it in chat. I always encourage anybody that raids to, you know, show us what you've been working on. So, if you have them, obviously not, you know, that's totally fine if you don't. Yeah, that's cool. I've been just working on Starground today. What I've been working on is getting editable terrain set up, and I think we're almost there. There's just a couple things that I have to work out, but it's very, very close now, so... Basic in progress, got a new song and difficulty manager dialogue working. Oh, nice. That's awesome. So did you not currently have any links? Ah, it's all good. Yeah, no worries at all. So let me load up a game. I need to make sure this Nan thing is working, because I don't want Oshik's save to be broken forever. Let's see. Yeah, right now I'm just fixing an issue where sometimes the position of stuff, if it turns to Nan, then when you load it back in, it causes big issues. It causes massive lag issues. Then also, like now what's happening is the player was set to Nan, and so it would delete the player, and that causes a lot of issues. So, yeah. I have to fix that. But I think it's okay. Just gotta wait for this to load. Hopefully it loads fine. Should create the player this time. But yeah, I can also show you what we've got going on with the editable terrain. It's pretty cool. It means that people can change the terrain, which is epic. It's taking a very long time to do the mini-maps again. I hope it didn't crash again, because this tends to happen. But there shouldn't be any buildings that's Nan now, so we should be okay, I hope. We just have to wait and see, I guess. It might still be crashing from something. I'm not sure what, though. I mean, it shouldn't have any issues here. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, I guess. The minimap just might be incredibly inefficient. I'm not sure. Maybe just to make sure everything's loading, I should just disable the minimap stuff for now. Ugh. Maybe that's what I'll do. Yeah, let's do that. Why did that one turn a different color than normal? That's very weird. I don't know what that is supposed to mean. Huh. Alright, let's relaunch the game. I think something's wrong with our minimap stuff. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm tired. Halfway there. Okay. Let's try loading that save again. Man, position. Hopefully it works. Wish it would hurry up so I can show off the cool new stuff, but gotta work out the issues, unfortunately. It doesn't seem to take very long when it's just a normal map, so I don't know why it breaks on the big one specifically. It shouldn't be spawning in the Nan position stuff anymore, so... did I mention I bought a car the other day? Oh, you did? Oh, nice. That's awesome. What car did you get? Oh, instantiating save data. That should take a second. Shouldn't take that long. Okay, minimap took 0 seconds. So why is it not working? I mean, we're not spawned in. It's still broken. Oh, an Audi. Nice, nice. Audi A3. Let me take a look at that. Nice. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, hopefully one day I can get a new car. My car's fine, but it's old though. It's from 2006, so. Oh my god, it loaded? What's happening? Did it not set the player's position? Oh. It should have set the player's position though. So why didn't it do that? Huh. That's not what I expected to happen. Let's see, let's check the ready. So it says position is 0, 0. So I don't know what's happening with that. I'm actually just going to change that to global position. It shouldn't matter, but I'm not sure why the player is still in the void. Weird. I mean, I could change it here, I guess. I mean, I could just change it here. I can say curline dot position is equal to vector 2.0. Then the only issue is we get that skateboard that's stuck at spawn and you can't like hover over it. Which is kind of an issue, but I don't know how I'm gonna fix that. I have to make it so the skateboard is like above the spawn platform. I don't know how. But not a completely new one from 2022. Oh yeah. That's still pretty nice though, yeah. Yeah, it's epic. Yeah, I'd love one day to get like an electric car. I don't really do very long trips or anything, so even if it had really tiny range, it would be fine. You know. Insurance is crazy at your age? Oh yeah. Crazy low or what? Because I know for me it's insane because I'm in like the Europe, there's a lot of charging stations. Oh yeah, there's plenty of charging stations here too. They're all over the place. It's hard to find one that's affordable though. Oh, crazy high, really? I wonder why it would be high. For me, it's super high because I'm in like the high risk group because I'm between the ages of 18 and 25 and I'm a male. And so for me, it's extremely expensive because I guess I'm more likely to die and crash and do bad things. It seems kind of weird that insurance companies can change your rates based off of your gender and age, because that kind of seems discriminatory. I mean, I get why they do it, but I don't know. It's always seemed a little weird to me. Depends on the country, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why it would get higher as you get older, because it seems like the opposite, right? Like, older people probably are less likely to crash because they've had longer to drive. They have more experience. But I don't know. I could see if you're, like, super old, you know? If you're, like, 80 or something and your insurance rates goes up, that makes sense to me, but I don't know. I don't think you're 80. Okay, well, that worked this time. So I guess it's fine. Yeah, I don't think it was the minimap stuff causing the issues then. I think it was just the null positions screwing everything up. So I'm just going to recomment those back in. And let's try loading it again. Did get an error here. Still just saying that. I don't know what the freaking deal is with that anymore. Let's go back to our NAN position. Okay. Poland, we don't have a lot of them. Yeah. Kind of depends on older people. Your reaction time also decreases. That's fair. Yeah. That is true. I don't know. Insurance is like 1.2K a year. Hell yeah. That's quite a bit. But I guess is that for like everything? Because that's not that bad. Because here it's like, actually, no, wait, that's not bad at all. Yeah, well, I guess we have stupid insurance in the US. I'll be honest, I don't pay for my insurance, so I don't actually know how much it is because my parents pay. But I think it's like, I think my car is like, every half year, so every 6 months. Yeah. Because I think for my car insurance, it's like $300 a month. Yeah. Or something like that. It's like really expensive. I don't have life insurance. I think I have health. Yeah, I have health insurance. I don't know how much that costs though, because I think it's just a family plan, so it's hard to actually break that down to individual cost. But yeah, it's it's pretty expensive out here. But I have to be able to drive. The thing is that car insurance is legally required. If you don't have car insurance, it's you're breaking the law. Which I think is so weird. I hate insurance. But whatever. Why is this not loading? Something's obviously not right. I don't know what's going on here. I mean, I just create the maps, and then I'm gonna update the map. And then if tile map doesn't exist, get use cells. Image is gonna be region maps. Yeah, region is that. Terrain color, short color, watercolor. And then we just loop through the map. If it has that position, set the terrain color, otherwise set the watercolor. See, I don't know why it's so, like, it just stops and freezes at this point. I'm not sure what's going on. It doesn't really throw any weird errors. I mean, maybe it's just the buildings are causing issues. I'm gonna comment those out and see. We're only legally required liability insurance. Yeah, I think it's the same here. I think you just need liability insurance, but not, like the... What do they call that? The other one. It's like damages insurance, or I can't remember what it's called. It's like, what is that called? I don't remember the name for it. It's the one where you, it protects your vehicle value, your vehicle. I don't know what it's called. I'm dumb. I'm gonna try just loading a regular old save with this. A new world. And I just want to see creating mini maps. So it does work, but yeah, it does take a long time. I guess it's just incredibly slow on the big map. Apparently set pixel is really slow. So that kind of sucks. I mean, before what I did was I just got the noise, and then I set the pixel. So I'm not sure why that was so much faster. Because that was like way faster. So I don't know what about this is so slow. Maybe it's just because I'm checking if tiles has. I'm not sure. Setting literally every pixel for the whole map? Well, yeah, I am. Because you kind of need to for the mini-map, otherwise it's going to be weird. I'm just trying to think if there's a better way to do it. I could probably do where I have it just set as a big color by default. Yeah, no, not every single... Imagine I went through every single pixel. That'd be millions. Yeah, no. Isn't called... Oh, yeah, comprehensive insurance. Yeah. My country, that's called Casca. Okay, interesting, yeah. Yeah, I just couldn't think of the word. I don't know. Blanked. But yeah. Am I gonna do this? I didn't realize just how incredibly slow it is, you know? I didn't think it'd be that bad. But it is. I mean, if I load into a different save, a smaller map, it doesn't take as long. Because the reason why it's so incredibly slow in that one map is because it's enormous. It's 512 by 512. So yeah. See, so it only took 2 seconds for this save, and that's with all the buildings and stuff. I don't like how those colors look, so I'm probably gonna change that, but... what if you start with a blue image and set every green pixel? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think that's probably going to be the play. It would make it a bit faster, but there are cases where it probably wouldn't make for much of a performance difference. But what would is if I did an optimization algorithm. I hate to do it, but it might be the way to go. What I can do is, now there is this class, it's the geometry class. I don't know if, it has what I want, but there are some interesting functions in here. So, we have stuff like merge polygons. I actually use this for the triangulate Delani for the Tesla coils. And it works really well, and it speeds it up, and it gets rid of unnecessary connections. But yeah, I don't know. Because what I ideally want to do, right, is it's like a... I know I talked about this at one point. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a mesh optimization function, essentially. What if you switch the iteration order to not be X then Y, but Y then X? Cause less jumps in memory. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know if it would really make that much of a difference with the Godot. Maybe something that was more lower level, but could try it. What I really need to do though is this. So essentially what we have is a big list of all of the squares in the game. So like here, let's do this. So it's so this is our tile map, right? We have a massive grid of tiles. What I want to do, ideally, is compress the data for these tiles. Because really all we need for this, if this is just a big rectangle of tiles, we just need this point up here and that point. And so we compress this from being this massive list of values to being 2. You know, one vector and the other one. So I'm just not sure how to do that though. It's not a super easy algorithm to implement. Because what I need to do is just loop through each thing and like merge it. So I guess we start with like a starting point, and then we're just going to loop all the way through. And then as soon as we find one that is the same, let's see. Because there's a lot of cases where it won't really help. Like say we have this order where it's like, so we have 3 squares and then 2 squares and 3 again, or 2 again. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna take some time to relive my mind a bit. Feel kind of out of it, if you know what I mean. Yeah, no problem at all. Tomorrow stream there. I will. I will be here tomorrow. So, but yeah, thanks for popping in. Have a good rest of your night and get some Z's. Yeah. But yeah, thank you for popping in. Thank you for the resub also. I appreciate it. So let's pretend this is our tile map. The algorithm that I ideally want to implement is something like this, where it's going to merge these into one square, and then we have this. So you can see we go from 7 squares down to 2. But I'm not sure how to do that. What we could do is loop from top left to right, or we could say, okay, merge these two, and then we go down another layer, and if it's the same length, then it merges. But see, this is a different length, so we'd get cases like this where it would do like 3. So this wouldn't be optimal. Because it would make 3 instead of the minimum, which would be 2 in this case. And that's why I don't think that algorithm would be the best. I have to think of a way to do this. Makes sense, like a quad tree? Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I don't know. What is a quad tree? Yeah, basically exactly like this. It's just partitioning things into like... into the biggest square that you can manage. Just like this, essentially, where it's like... you don't want to set everything to the tiny squares. You want the big ones where you can, and then the small ones where you have to. I wonder how I could implement that for tiles. Instantiate a new vector and then checking... yeah, with as a slow. You should set a loop over the tiles and set the pixel for each item in the tile array. I think that's what I'm doing, isn't it? So you should set loop over the tiles and set the pixel for each item in the tile array. Because that's essentially what I'm doing. I'm just looping through the map and setting the pixel for every tile. The reason why I want to chunk it is because the image class has a function, I believe, to just do a square instead of a pixel, and it's way faster. I think it's in here. You can do like... it's not set pixel, but it's you can do this. I think it's set data or something, and then you can like... I'm not doing it? Okay. What would I need to change in order to do that? I can go back to my code. I'm just reading these functions in here. It's fill, I think, is what I want. That's just filling the whole image. Have I tried advent of code this year? I haven't. I just haven't had time, spending so much time working on Starground. Plant rack, that's probably what it is. Yeah, I think this is what it is. It basically just takes an image and then it merges it into another one. And I think it's way faster to do that instead of setting each individual tile and each pixel. And honestly, compressing the data like that anyways is going to be good for multiplayer, for syncing that data to clients. Four tiles in tile. Yeah, let's go to our update map thing. I mean, I do this because I'm going to set the watercolor. What I could do is just, it's pretty easy. I'll just, first off, instantiate it with the watercolor. So let's do that. So I'm just going to say getter add. And then I'm going to say region maps.get i.fill. Or I guess we just do it down here. So yeah, first I'll fill it with the water. I'll just say image.fill watercolor. Pretty sure I can do that. Image, I'm just gonna set that to an image so I can make sure that this function exists. Is that not what it is? Fill. Yeah, it is. Then I don't have to actually set the watercolor anymore. I can just say for I and tiles, and then set the position I.x, I.y with terrain color. Yeah, I mean, this will speed it up a little bit, but I don't know if it's going to be enough for the big maps. It's hard to say. We'll load it up and see. So before this took 2,500 milliseconds. Let's see what it takes now. So let's load this save. It'll probably be a little bit better, but I'm not sure. Well, it definitely did speed it up a lot. It went down to 500 milliseconds, so it's a start for sure. I think not having to check if it has the tile and stuff has really sped it up. So I guess the test is loading into the other save that was way bigger. Because that save is only 128 by 128. So it's relatively small. The thing is like, I don't want this map to take like 50 seconds because that's just too long. Because it's not only that on the server, it's also that on for every client that connects to, so. I like to some GitHub posts, working directly with a packed byte array than doing image.crave from data might be faster. Oh yeah? Okay, that'd be interesting. Yeah, I could just set like the bytes and then you're checking the entire tile array for an object and creating a new object at the same time. I wasn't creating a new object, was I? Oh, is it because I was instantiating a new vector too? Yeah. Okay, let's see how long this takes this time. I hope it actually works. We'll see. Instantiating data, creating minimaps. It is screaming at me. Okay, there's coordinates that are out of bounds, but it didn't actually take that long. All right, well, this might be plenty of optimization then to get it working. It seems like it, at least. I do appreciate it, Boston. I was going to make that change, but I didn't think it was actually going to be that good. But turns out it's actually way better, because, yeah, I guess you're not instantiating that new vector too. In addition to also not having to draw in the water tiles. So it really does improve things a lot. So, I mean, that works. There apparently is coordinates, though, that are out of bounds. I'm not sure which ones. I guess there's tiles that are out of the bounds. I wonder how that is. I have to make sure that this is lined up with the world. Seems all lined up. How are there tiles that are out of bounds of the world? I'm just trying to think. I wonder which tiles those are. I don't think there should be any. I don't think that's possible for those tiles to exist. Huh. Unless in level I accidentally placed down some tiles. So they're at negative 32? Like all of these are at negative 32. Whoa. Negative 20, 19, 526, 527. Ah, that's weird. Is it generating tiles outside of where I can see them? Well, there's no tiles here. I don't think there's any down here. Let's no clip and see if I can find any. Move speed 10. And let's just, oh yeah, also zoom limit false. I don't know why it would be checking for tiles that aren't, I don't know. I don't know where those tiles would be because I don't see any. Right? Unless they're like a weird invisible tile. One that I can't see, but it's still trying to check it. I'm not really sure. Oh, there's all these items over here. Oh, chic. I gotta figure out a way to clear out these items when they're out of bounds. Let's go down to Tyria just for fun. How's it looking out here? Man, there's a lot of nodes. Oh, you do have a Tyria base. You're farming here? Farms work on Tyria? That's not supposed to happen. How do farms work on Tyria? I thought if you place them... Oh, I guess I didn't make them... I made them waterproof. Okay, I gotta fix that. They're not supposed to work here. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I don't know why it's complaining about... Or it's setting tiles outside of the region. I'm really not sure where those are coming from, if I'm being honest. Because there's no used tiles out here, right? I don't see any. There's some items, but there's no tiles. So where is it doing that from? It's saying that it's at -32 and 527 in this and set pixel, right? But I don't know. I don't know how that's happening. Oh, what am I doing here? I'm being stupid. I don't want to have to add a check to the function because it'll make it way slower if I have to check if the coordinates is within the bounds, I would imagine. But I don't know, maybe it won't. So it only took 1.7 seconds for that. That really wasn't that long for how big the map is. That's also for 2 regions, so. I am not sure. Just seems odd to me that it could be getting... I don't know where that would be happening from. It must be like a weird invisible tile that's being generated. I don't know how. But it's the only way I could imagine that this is happening. Oh, unless it's that's probably from Tyria. Now that I think about it. That's why it's always like a perfect position. Yeah, that's what's going on. So what's happening is it's trying to load the borders of Tyria over. Because if we go to Tyria, it's these border tiles out here. I think what's happening is that it's trying to draw those into the map, and I think that's our issue. Yeah, that must be it. So the question is, how do I stop it from doing that? Before it was easy because I could just loop through the world size and I just didn't include the borders, right? I don't know. I wonder, maybe we should measure the performance difference. Like, do you think not instantiating that Vector 2 actually made it that much faster? I'm kind of curious to see what it's like without that, just to see. Just out of curiosity, because I want to see if this matters. Okay, yeah, I just wonder if if adding on a bunch of if statements to the check would make it slower than just looping through the map at the proper coordinates. I don't know. I just want to load this up with this change, and I'm just, yeah, genuinely curious to see the speed difference. So before that took 1700 milliseconds. Let's now do... Oh, wait. Oh no, because I'd have to check if it's in the position. So that doesn't work. Yeah, I guess the only way would be just to add a check and make sure that it's actually within the bounds. Yeah, if X is... I'm just going to change this to tile. Tile.x is greater than 0. Or actually, if I do an OR statement and then return, that would be faster. Or I do break, yeah. So if X is less than 0 or tile.x is greater than map size or tile.y is less than 0 or tile.y is greater than map size. Break. Would I do break or just no, return would completely... Is it continue? I'm trying to remember the... Break would just stop the current one, right? Yeah, continue is what I want. Yeah, break would stop the for loop. Yeah. So I do want continue. Yeah, that should work. I think I can set it up to the image size. I think that should be okay. We'll see, I guess. If it's smaller, then that's fine. I can just change it. Okay. Let's do... So it was 1700 on that one before. Let's check the same map so we can compare on the NaN position save. Okay, that generated a whole bunch of errors. It's still doing the same thing. Is it continue that I want? I don't know if it is. Or wait, did it even generate yet? I don't think it did. I think that was from before. It was old. Yeah, we should be fine now. Should load. I'm actually considering, I know we did that whole system where the resources spawn in a grid, but I realize now that the resources now that they always stay in the same position, it doesn't even matter if it's in a grid, because just build your collectors around where the resources are, right? Well, that one was even faster, so... Okay, so 512 is out of bounds of 512. So it has to be... less than map size. So if it's greater than or equal to... But that was extremely fast. It seems almost too fast. It was only 500 milliseconds? I don't know. How would it get faster by adding more logic that it has to process? I'm not sure. But let's see. Clear the errors. Yeah, I guess the map size, I guess that's the limit, because it starts at index 0, so yeah. And it's up to 511, actually. Let's spawn the resources. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to generate the map. Oh yeah. That was pretty quick. You must have a ton of duplicate or unnecessary tiles in the tile array. I don't actually use these tiles, so... Wait, do I have... Oh yeah, no clip is still on. I was like, how am I doing this? So, these are actually not tiles. The water, the reason why I did that is just to save on the number of tiles that need to be instantiated, or not instantiated, but set. So, it should actually be way less than that. It seems like everything's fine though. I can print the size of tiles if you want. The minimap generation only took 350 milliseconds, which is pretty good. The thing that takes the longest is the resource creation, because this is an enormous map. If I set zoom limit to false, I mean, you can see just how many resources spawn here. It's thousands and thousands. And the thing is, it also does thousands and thousands on Tyria. I am going to someday optimize that to where these won't spawn in. Unless they're in your view, but... no, that got faster with the if check. You have a lot of out-of-bound tiles. Yeah. I think it's just with... I mean, I'll go show you where that is. It's on Tyria, I'm pretty sure. Right, so all these should be fine. I'm absolutely sure what those error tiles were before is down here. It's because these ones are on the outer rim. They're not technically in the world. Because, you know, how it's set up is like, this world size is set so, like, the world goes from this top left corner down to here, and then the borders generate outside of the world. I think what it is that Godot creating those errors and printing them as errors was probably... that was slow. And so I think even though that check didn't make it technically faster, it did because now it's not throwing errors. So printing and stuff and throwing errors in Godot is actually really slow. So that's my assumption of what that probably was. I don't think it's actually more tiles than what there is. So we should be fine. I can print it out, I mean, if we want, but... we'll add a world load progress bar so people don't think it froze and quit the game. Yeah, I have been thinking about that because I realize as time goes on, it becomes kind of more, probably more important. So, yeah, maybe we'll do that. I am speed. It's funny because it still thinks I'm on Viridian. If I actually teleport to Tyria, then it should fix the minimap, yeah. It's got the water effect. Nice. It was so fast. It's funny that I'm just almost out of the camera view. I can't keep up. I'm curious to look at the profiler for this save. Just to see if it's actually the resource nodes that are slow or if it's all the items that are outside. Because I do notice there's a lot of out-of-bounds items. So let's see. There is some sound stuff, but that's not anything out of the ordinary. It looks like it's just mostly the movers and stuff, just the typical what you would expect. The mover and the conveyor. The player a little bit, but... Mover update filters, inventory add item, yeah. I do need to optimize movers more. I think the way I'm going to do that is just by changing when it updates its filters. The way that movers work is that it checks whenever an inventory... So like what it does is if a mover has an item in it, it'll check its target inventory here for like what can be inserted into it. And so I think what would be a much better system if I could link up a signal to all of these buildings for inventory stuff. Whenever the inventory changes on this building, that's when I update the mover filter. And it'll probably be way faster. So I'll definitely be looking into that. We could maybe add a load bar to this connection screen, honestly. Let's go to the main menu and go to, let's see here. Connecting, let's do a progress bar. Probably want this to be in a V-box then. So we have the label. Let's put all that into a V-box. And the color rect has to be below that. So this will just be full rect. Alignment center. Okay. So now it'll say like loading game, and then we have our progress bar down here. That bar is too big. Let's shrink that a little bit. Let's set a minimum size of like 256. Let's can I increase the height of it? Yeah, just a little bit. 24. So the thing is that loading bars in games are not as easy as you think they are, because I actually don't know if this will update visually as things load. That might be kind of tricky. I'll try and figure it out, but we'll see. We'll see what we can do here. I'm just gonna do... Guess I'll just create its own script. How are you checking the mover chain? Is the parent checking if it can input item into a child, or child checking if it can take item from parent? Yeah, I can show you how that's kind of all set up. Basically how it works is that, say, let's put a building down. So here's our furnace. Let's set our move speed back to normal. And we have a mover. So the mover is the thing that does all the logic. So if I put a mover down here onto the furnace, this mover is going to be the thing that's checking the parent inventory, the target inventory, and then updating its own filters. So how it works is that, let's say we have a conveyor over here, and we put one over here, a chest. So if there's an item that doesn't fit, this is going to update the filter and check, like, it's going to say what item is supposed to go here, what's the amount that's currently in there. And so, yeah, copper or cobalt ingot doesn't work. Don't insert. If we do something else, though, that does work, like copper ore, it'll see that there's this copper ore placeholder thing in here. Like, it has a filter for it. So this furnace wants to have copper ingots, and the mover will check if it's a copper ingot, and if it is a copper ingot, put it into the furnace. And it's kind of the same way taking things out. So if you put a mover out like this, it's gonna just grab from whatever slot is the output slot and do the same exact check pushing into this other furnace, right? So it'll check, like, what can I take out, and then can I put this item in? The issue is with the performance of that is just mainly the filter stuff with the movers. If we look inside of in here. So the mover update filters is kind of slow. It's almost 2 milliseconds, which is a big chunk of what this mover process is. If we break this up into self, you can see the process of the actual mover really isn't that bad. It's the update filters function that's slowing it all down. I think the bottleneck is just the frequency of updates. The reason why it's so slow right now is because this will check, like in this configuration, it's going to be checking this conveyor right here every single frame, which is obviously really inefficient. I think what's going to help a lot with this is just connecting that filter update check to its target building. So what I can do is, like, this won't do anything until this actually updates. So let's say this copper ore has just decreased in quantity. It'll send a signal to this mover to update its filters again and recheck the inventory. And that's gonna be way better than checking this stuff every single frame, right? So, yeah. that's probably going to be the play, I think. I've started to work on it. It's just a lot of work because there's so many places where I don't use the inventory component functions. I can't think of a specific example, but like if I go into a furnace, what I had before was like this stuff, it'll manually set these things where it's like inventory component at inventory data is that. And so it's really difficult to call a signal with that. What I've done recently is in the inventory component, I've added functions for that stuff. So it's like add to index. And whenever anything gets changed in the inventory that needs an update, I emit the inventory change signal. So it's a work in progress. Once I get all of that kind of converted over to the signal system, then it's pretty easy to link it up and it should work really well after that. But yeah, it's going to take some time though. There's a lot of buildings in the game, so I just got to keep working on it. I've been obviously using the new stuff though from now on, so I just got to convert the old buildings. I think all the new Tyria stuff works fine. So, but yeah, we'll get there. It's just it's a whole lot of work. There's many thousands of lines of code, so I've got to scan through everything and find because it's not always super obvious when I'm doing it in a bad way. And that's why it's so tricky to fix. There's some cases where like I'm setting the inventory data, but it's not very easy for me to just search, like control shift F or whatever, right? So I really just have to scan through everything and make sure it works. Should just see how many different approaches there are in factory builders. Yeah, it definitely is interesting because there's just so many technical challenges with this kind of genre. There's always a lot of wacky solutions that people come up with to things, right? I would like to figure out like a better filter system for this stuff, but it's really hard. I'm not sure how else I can really do it. It's definitely better now than it has been in the past. In the past, you place down like 20 movers and the game just slows to a crawl, but yeah, what I've always learned is it's really not the quantity of nodes that lags the game. You can have thousands and thousands of nodes in the game active and it doesn't do anything. It's just the code. It's the process event. That is my arch nemesis. I finally completely eliminated it from the conveyor, right? So like the conveyor is way faster now. If I start the profiler again. Like we can look at the performance of the conveyor and it's way better. It still does have a little bit of overhead, but it's only 0.7 milliseconds for the hundreds and hundreds of conveyors that are in this world, you know? I mean, there's all these ones and they're all over the place. I'm never really gonna get the performance in Starground probably up to like the Factorio standards, obviously. But that's fine. I am just one person trying to do all the optimization and programming and art and sounds and just all of it, so, you know. It's never going to be perfect, but I can't worry about that too much. Haven't played your game yet. My knowledge is limited to what I've seen from some of your streams. I can't really suggest anything. Yeah, I can kind of go into it a little more deeply. So everything that stores items has this inventory component, and this is kind of just a centralized thing for inventory stuff. So inside here, there's a couple different arrays. So force filters is like, it's a filter for manually selecting things that can move through. So for example, when I right click into this mover, I can set the force filters by doing that. So now no matter what's in here, this will only ever grab apples. So it doesn't grab the wood or anything anymore. Right, and you can blacklist it so it does the inverse, so it'll never grab apples. And that's what that's for. We have inventory data, and that's just an array with the actual item data stored into it. And then down here we have slot filters, and that's kind of how that works with the mover stuff. So inside of the mover, what slot filters is, it's just a list like this of item IDs. So we have Starground wood, Starground stone, etc. Inside of movers, it does this update filters function. So first off, in process is where it kind of does its stuff. So this is checking a couple things. So there's constant push and constant pull. Those are only for buildings without any filters. So that would be something like a chest. And that's not really the performance issue, it's the filter stuff. So that doesn't matter. So try pull is just saying continually check and see if you can grab an item from your input inventory, right? And now this is part of the issue. You can see that I'm doing update filters in try pull, and that's happening every single frame. So obviously that's a very bad idea, but it's hard, right? Because I've got to get it set up to where it's all with signals, and it doesn't work if, like, there's some cases where I can't, if it's just signals, it doesn't work, because signals need some kind of input or code to activate a chain. So for example, if I have something like this where it's just a chest and a mover comes out of it like that, I have to continually check in the mover if I can push out to the conveyor in front, because otherwise it'll just end up in a scenario where it doesn't push any items out. So it's definitely tricky. That's why it's not just this super easy thing to optimize. Now it is better to, I can optimize that with the filters though, because that is something that changes and like I can emit a signal. So one nice optimization with belts that I managed to get was starting the whole move process from the objects that don't have the child plus have a parent and can receive an item. So then I call steal item on the parent and then repeat the whole process for the parent. Okay. Yeah. Starting the whole move process from the objects that don't have the child. Yeah. Yeah, because that's sort of what I've changed recently too. With conveyors now, these conveyors don't try and push anymore. How it works is that like the conveyors are just signals now, and that's why they run so much better. What will happen is that if a mover pulls in an item or something from a conveyor, this conveyor will send a signal to the one behind it. And so it does just this chain of signals of moving the items forward on the conveyor. So, yeah. That is a really good way to improve performance. And that's essentially what I want to do on the movers, right? Where it just does like a chain of signals from the parent, from the target inventory. So, yeah. Like conveyors are actually really fast now in Starground. It's just the movers are kind of the stinker. I'll work on it. It's just hard. There's so many things, you know. Because I've got to do... I would love to spend more time on optimization, but the truth is that I also have to keep adding stuff, and that takes a lot of time, you know. I've got to be able to do work on new dungeons and enemies and plan out the next update, and you know, it's hard. No, I am not multi-threading anything yet. The reason why I haven't done that is, well, because obviously the game is multiplayer, and that can cause a lot of issues if the game's multi-threaded, because it means that things like can really desync hard. I'm not really sure how you can do multiplayer with multi-threading. I'd have to look into it more. There's not really much that I think I could move to multi-threading, because I have to have these things interact with each other. Right, like it's not like I can move these nodes or the resource nodes to a different thread because I need this person on this thread to be able to interact with those ones, and I'm just not sure how it works. I guess the thing I'm confused about with other threads is like, how do you render things on a different thread that are on the same or that are in the same scene? I don't know. It's kind of tricky. Yeah, it's P2B, so like the player is the host. I could probably move it to a dedicated server really easy. It would just be a case of disconnecting or deleting the player, not spawning them in, and then just having people connect into the server. So that really wouldn't be that hard to do. I mean, it's kind of P2P. It's not. It's weird because the player. It's like a weird hybrid, you know, because this isn't really a dedicated server, and there's some things that do happen on the clients that get synced to here, so it's kind of P2P, but it's not like completely. I don't know how to define it. It's a mix. But yeah, it's a dedicated server, then making multi-threaded servers easy. Yeah. Because it can still be easily done, all the logic is still done in the server, so the host can do stuff on multiple threads, and then the client only receives the updates. Yeah. Client doesn't run anything. Yeah, not really. I mean, the client does a couple things. Like, I think the client controls their move speed, and it syncs their position back to the server and stuff like that. The reason why I never really tried too hard to keep everything on the server side is just because this game really isn't like a PvP thing. I don't think you really need to worry about, like, people cheating and stuff, so. But yeah, I think normally you just render things on one thread. Non-interacting simulation jobs are often done on other threads. Yeah, because that's what's tricky is, like, there's not much in the game that's non-interaction, right? Very little of this game is kind of behind the scenes, is hard calculation stuff, and I think that's what's kind of tricky with this. Because all these buildings need to be ready to interact with the player, and I need to be able to break them and all that stuff, right? So it's really hard. There's probably some things that I can move to multi-threaded, like loading in the world and stuff and setting the tiles or loading the scene data. I could probably make multi-threaded, but it wouldn't actually really improve performance that much, because it would just slightly decrease load times, and that's it. So I just don't know if it's worth all the extra work to implement a system like that for something that probably won't even matter, you know? I don't know. That's why multi-threading is really tricky. And just adding that complexity on top of multiplayer, it gets really complicated. If this was single player, I think multi-threading would be way more straightforward, but I don't know. I wish there was more documentation about this kind of stuff of, like, how do you integrate, like, that kind of stuff with multiplayer? Multiplayer with Godot is very devoid of info about that kind of stuff, right? There's a lot about multiplayer that just nobody knows, so nobody's dared to mess with. How do I simulate chunks if you have chunks that are not on the screen? Basically, everything is just always processing constantly. The reason I do that is so that, like, if you have a building in another region, then it still does stuff and it still makes things, so you don't have to, like... It's not like Minecraft where it, like, unloads chunks and then they don't do anything. Like, everything's always doing everything. Another reason why I've done that, too, is because as the server... I can't deactivate buildings because then they won't process for clients. So it just adds, yeah, that's part of the reason why I just haven't messed with, like, chunks and stuff like that. And honestly, it doesn't seem to be that big of a deal to like keep everything loaded. I guess I could probably have other chunks that aren't visible be rendered, like, multi-threaded, maybe? So there's definitely room for multi-threading, maybe, in some cases. I'm just not sure how that would interact with, like, the spawner nodes and stuff, right? So I'm not sure. Yeah, you can still run the buildings they're not rendered. Yeah. It is tricky, because it would be kind of a different beast if I was doing my own, like, programming for the multiplayer stuff, right? But yeah, the hard part is just that I'm kind of limited by how the spawner and synchronizer nodes work with the Godot multiplayer. Save a furnace, burns X objects, seconds, store the time in which you unload it. When you load it, you can easily calculate how many objects have burned that time. Yeah. I mean, it's hard though because, like, I have to take into account, like, for example, let's say we have a conveyor and we have items here and there's one gap of items right here. It's like, it would screw everything up if I made too many assumptions, I guess, about how, like, that the furnace would stay fueled and would still have items and stuff. It'd be a lot of work. And honestly, the furnaces, like, they have practically zero performance impact, and that's why I just haven't spent the time to optimize them. The only thing that really has any performance impact is the movers. It can be a feature to have everything simulated always. Yeah, in Minecraft it can be annoying sometimes that things aren't chunk loaded. Yeah, no, it's definitely like it's a very nice thing to have, because like I can do stuff here and I know that my factory in the other world is still doing stuff. Yeah, this type of game would be really hard. But really huge performance game on a big scale. It would help, yeah. Yeah, I think I'll definitely, of course, keep spending time to try and optimize things, but I think at a certain point it starts to not be worth the effort. I think what's going to be better for Starground, I think, is just going to be focusing on making the game fun without having to build massive mega factories, I guess. I've never really wanted Starground to be Factorio in the sense of that you're building these monumental, massive things. Because I don't have enough experience with optimization stuff to make that run well enough, right? So that's kind of the limitation. I think it's better just to make machines process faster and do things faster. So hey, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome in the stream. Yeah, I mean, I'll eventually look into multi-threading and stuff. I hate breaking the entire game constantly. You know, I'm always doing that, and it can really be a big stall and just trying to develop when everything's broken constantly. I mean, I basically did that with the ID change, and then with all the weird tile generation and minimap stuff. It's, yeah. What's my USP? What do you mean? I don't know a USP. Oh, unique selling point? Oh. I think the unique selling point is just that Starground is kind of like designed to be fun for people with different play styles. That's always been like my goal from the beginning. Where like I have people can automate but then also go dungeoning at the same time. So it's not like things are completely tied together and you have to go to the dungeons to automate and stuff like that, because I imagine that would get really annoying. To avoid the need for mega factories, will you add upgraded machines that compress big setups later in just a few machines? Yeah. I definitely have plans for that. One of the things I want to do is sort of like kind of like the modules in Factorio, if you've ever played it, where it's like you can insert them into the machines and they add like a speed or a productivity modifier. It like just makes the machines better. So I think that's going to be the method. I do want to add that into the game eventually. It would just be some kind of like workbench that you can place down and build little upgrade chips that you can insert into machines. And so that would kind of help people keep things really large scale without having to actually build large. So yeah. Yeah, kind of like beacons, I guess, except I probably wouldn't do beacons. I'd probably keep it all inside of the machines. And I think what I'd like to do for that is like in Factorio, it's just a case of here's your ingredients and build the thing. There's no like a thought process that goes into it. Yeah, more like the power slugs, I guess I would say. One thing I do want for these speed modules or whatever they are is kind of like you have to build them and design them yourself. Which is something I've always wanted to do. So it's like you'd have this like grid or something. I'm not really sure how that would be set up yet, but it would be some kind of puzzle where you have to like route wires through or something in order to achieve the effects from the module that you want. So the effects of the module depend on the materials you just craft them. Not exactly. They'd probably be crafted with the same things, but it would just change depending on how you like build them. So you would open up some kind of machine. It would be like a, I don't know, a module crafting machine, a module bench. And then once you open it up, it opens up this UI, which is like a, pretend this is like the internals of the chip or whatever it is, right? And so you would have a choice on how you want to like route wires through the chip, and depending on like which of these outputs and inputs that you connect to, it changes the behavior of it. So maybe it would decrease power or increase speed or something like that. Have you ever seen IC2 Minecraft mod reactors? Yeah, kind of like that. I don't know if it would be exactly like that. It would basically be like taking this, but instead of doing this with items, it would just be the effect from this would just be in the one item. Yeah, IC2, yeah. Yeah, man, IC2 is fun. I want to play IC2 again. It'd be fun to play like Texit or Tekkit or something like that. I've been kind of waiting. I think it may be time soon to start it up. But yeah, it's kind of like this setup, I guess I would say. Like it could be interesting to take this concept and do this, but inside of here. So that, yeah, like this would just be a grid of items that you can put in. And there would be like different components to the upgrade module that you can use so that you can like insert them into different positions, and depending on their neighbors, it would affect how this works and like what it does to your machines. I want there to just be some kind of more interactive and customizable like setup for upgrades like this. Upgrades and stuff in Factorio are totally fine, but they always just have, to me, felt very, I don't know, just a matter of more and more instead of, like, I don't know, putting more thought into it. I think it would just be fun to do something like this. And honestly, it kind of sticks with the theme of like the customizable weapons and stuff in Starground anyways. So I think it would be a good fit. I guess I would describe it more as the you know, like the inventory grid in Factorio, where you can add in like modules to your inventory grid, and it like makes like the exoskeletons and laser turrets and stuff. It would basically be like that, but as like an upgrade chip for the machines. So there's really just one module item, but the item's effects are different per instance. Yeah, exactly. It would basically just be like, there is the one module thing, but you can customize the modules, and they have like their own custom, like they have data attached to them that makes them different. Basically like an NBT tag in Minecraft or something, where it's like you can say, oh yeah, this item has this stuff in it. So I think it could work. Could be kind of interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure about like all the effects that the machines will have and stuff yet. That's something I'll have to think about. But it would be cool if like you could add like a filter chip onto the collector. And I guess what I'm thinking of really is in another Minecraft mod, AE2. They're like the upgrade cards. It's kind of like that, where they have like different behaviors, and you can put them into your machines. Yeah, AE2 is awesome. I do love me some AE2. Because they have like the acceleration card, which you can just insert into a slot in your machine. Let me see if I can like find one that has the UI. What has one? I think Where's like the assembler has one. But it might not like show it. But you can attach these cards, you can just load them into the machine and it changes how they do stuff. So I think that would be fun for Starground. I don't know, I just want there to be more thought process that goes into setting up your machines and stuff like that, instead of it just being loaded with productivity modules and then speed modules, you know? I want them to have more unique abilities and stuff. Almost also in line with like the artifact system we have in Starground, where like none of these artifacts just give you like a base stat. They give you like a different ability, and that's kind of what I want for the machines also. I think would be fun. I don't know. It's going to be kind of hard. I'm going to have to work it out and figure out how that's going to all work and fit together, but I think once I do, it would be pretty sick. And yeah, anyways, my point being, that's how that's how we would handle that stuff. I don't even remember what, oh yeah, the progress bar. So I'm just gonna say function process. Actually, I'll say this. So we're gonna connect up all the signals. So the different things that load in the game. So we have noise, auto tiling, and resource creation. I guess I have to create signals for all those. Noise, auto tiling, and resource creation. So let's go to our global script. Okay, so world generated. Right. So we got a couple. So what it's gonna do, there's a couple things that I can use as chunks for loading. So we have the world being generated, which is the noise and auto tiling. Then we have the buildings being loaded, and then fully loaded is that like everything is loaded. But I could add in more here. So we'll add in noise generated, auto tiling finished. So we generate noise, we finish auto tiling, signal resources generated. What else do we got? And then buildings loaded. That one like goes here, I guess. Well, really it goes after world generated. And then fully loaded is after everything's done. So we'll create those just to have them there so we can do the loading bar. So, Bear Like Lion, what's going on? How's it going? Let's see, let's go into the generator, the world generator. So after these different segments, we're gonna... So this is first off generating the noise. So right here, I'm gonna say global.noise generated.emit. And then the auto tiling. Then I'm gonna say global.noise generated.emit. And then starting resource creation. And then I'm gonna say global.resources generated.emit. And then world generated, and then we got the other ones already set up. That's Godot, great, nice. Getting back into the game dev grind. Nice, nice. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I sort of took a little bit of a break for Christmas, and now I'm like getting back into the swing of things, but it's going good. So let's see here. I guess I won't have a ready event. I'll just say connect signals and for our progress. And then we'll say this, the value will be progress. So where can I do that? Let's see. It's in multiplayer setup. Start host. I guess it really happens in initialize game. No, I gotta do it here. I'll just do it here. I'll say, so that hides the main menu. I'll say global dot starting host dot emit. Now, let's see. I'm gonna emit. I guess we don't need to. I need to emit is multiplayer. So I know if it's multiplayer or not. What else do I need to emit? That's pretty much all I need to emit there. And then down on Start Connect, we'll emit the same kind of stuff. We'll say starting connect dot emit. We don't need is multiplayer. Okay. So let's add those. Then starting host will have a variable. So that's going to have, what is it going to be? A bool? I don't know if this is how that works. I need to look at the signal documentation. It's a shame I can't find the energy to game dev during work days. Yeah, it's hard. That's one of the reasons why I'm glad I can do this full time, at least for the time being, because I don't have to. Oh, we have ads. God dang it. Let's wait for the ads. Let's get going here, ads. Okay, ads are over. Sorry about that. But yeah, I totally get that. That's why I'm so glad I can just work on Starground full time, because man, if I also had to work at the same time, that would kind of suck. I wouldn't be able to ever have time to do it. So yeah, you got vacation for the holiday, nice. Yeah, I think you're taking part in this indie game dev beginners jam this week for the same reason. That would be good. Jams are a really nice way to find the time to do it, I would say, because it's like, especially the really short ones. I'm not really a fan of like the 2-week ones and stuff like that, but like the quick little like Game Maker's Toolkit jam, like the ones that are just a couple days, are actually really nice. I do enjoy those. So it's always good because it's not this massive time commitment. It's like 3 days, you're gonna make this game or you don't. Like, you don't have to worry about, I don't know, all the other garbage that comes with like a full game, you know. It's kind of nice. I'm trying to find where I do. Oh, you don't even do that. You just say, just like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, 3 to 5 day jams are my jam. Yeah, those are the best. It's very nice to do those ones. I've done a couple. I've done like oh, what is it saying? Oh, done the Game Maker's Toolkit. I've done the Ludum Dare game jam, I think like twice or something, and I did a couple jams for it was like university club jams, and those were good too. So all we're doing is playing video games or watching shows. So I was like, might as well game dev instead. I totally get that. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I do it. I feel like I don't want to sit around and waste my time, you know, when I could be doing something more productive. Yeah, I want to still work 9 to 5 doing the week on my games of actual work this week. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, it's hard. Okay, let's do this. So, function ready. global dot starting host dot connect host. But then we're gonna have func connect client. Global dot starting connect client. Okay. So connect host, what we're gonna say there is host is equal to true, and then we're gonna say, let's see here. Add progress. Oh yeah, you're totally welcome to send links to stuff. I don't mind. Feel free to put those in chat. So I'm going to say if host, then that means that there's going to be like 5 steps or whatever. And then otherwise we just do the other way. So global dot, what's the first one? Trying to remember all the different ones. Let's look at the order of operations out here. Generating noise. So first off, we're gonna connect that one to add progress. Then we're gonna connect auto tiling. Dot connect add progress. What else do we have? We have global dot resources generated dot connect add progress. And then the next one after that is just going to be global dot buildings loaded. And then after that, it's going to be fully loaded. Hopefully this works. I don't know, we'll see. There's 2 game jams I made earlier this year. Oh, nice. Nice, I'll give you a follow as well. I'll check those out after stream. So connect host, it should do all that stuff. So in add progress, we're just gonna say if host progress plus equal 1 divided by 5. So hopefully that works. Otherwise, if we're the client, we're going to have fewer connections because we don't generate resources or anything like that on the client. Because all we do on the client is just the... I guess I could actually check. I think I've done it before. Oh, but we don't instantiate data if we don't load a save. See, this is why it's complicated. So we have to also have this, which is var loading save is false. So in global, we're going to say is multiplayer and save name. So back to our multiplayer setup script. And starting host, we're going to emit is multiplayer and our save path. Okay, back to our progress bar. So connect host, actually, yeah, this will have 2 things. How do I connect a function and pass those arguments over? I guess I just have them up in the top. Oh, is it with bind? It might be. Actually, I think I just do... I think all you do is just you have the arguments. So I have this multiplayer and save path. Yeah, that would work if I had like other values I want to pass, but I want it from the signal. So I think this is how you do it. Because if I think about like other signals, like toggled on and stuff, they just have this and you just put the argument in. So I think that's how you do it. We're going to see if this works, but yeah. Okay, so we're going to say if save path is not equal to empty, then that means we're not... There's a couple other things. So, because if we're loading from a save, we don't do buildings loaded, right? Yeah, for signals parameters, okay. So then it's going to be 4. So if host and save path. Let's set save path, just a string. I'm just going to say save path is equal to that. So if host and save path, here, let's just do this. If host, if save path is not equal to empty, it means that we're loading 5 things, otherwise progress plus equals 1.0 divided by 4. And then if we're not hosting, it means progress plus equals 1 divided by like 3, I think, or something. It's gonna be a lot less. So I think, let's see, what do we do? We do generate noise and auto tile, but we don't generate resources and we don't do buildings, so that's just 3. Hopefully this all works. I don't know. We'll see, guys. And let's also make the maximum value 1. Okay. I'm just gonna run through this in my head, make sure this all makes sense. So starting host, connect host. So we say if we're hosting, I guess his multiplayer doesn't actually matter, does it? Yeah, we don't actually need to pass that. It doesn't matter if it's single player or not. So let's get rid of that. And this is passed in the save path. And then in here, we don't have to pass that anymore. Save that. Then in here, we just have save path. So this will be true. Save path will be equal to save path. I guess I'll just name this new save path. And then if it's empty, if it's not empty, that means we're loading from a save and we have buildings to load. Otherwise, we don't load the buildings. And if it's client, it's that. And then we add the progress. Okay. This is going to be weird. I don't know if this is going to work at all, but we're going to try it. I don't think I would even consider making a multiplayer game for another 5 years. Yeah. I completely understand. Man, it kind of sucks sometimes. I'm not going to lie. Multiplayer stuff is really cool, but it's also incredibly hard. Makes everything way more complicated. Yeah, Starground is multiplayer, which is, it's been a kind of a hassle, I'm not gonna lie. Let's see what this shows. Oh, don't do it to me. It didn't do anything. Dang it. What I worry about is the fact that it might not have enough time to update the value. Like, it might be doing it, but it might not be. I'll just print here to make sure that it's actually doing it. It only took 27 milliseconds for that map. That's crazy fast. So it does send out the signals, but it just doesn't update the values. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. It's like I would need this being rendered on a different thread or something, but I don't know. Spent a lot of time today synchronizing clocks for multiplayer. Yeah, it's rough. As a player, I love online co-op games, but as a dev, I think it'd be a nightmare. It is, man. Oh my god. Yeah, it's kind of sucks sometimes, but it's okay. Actually, I don't need to do that there. I'm just gonna say value as progress. This is not gonna work, is it? We'll give it one more try now that I changed that around. Please, 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 please. No, it doesn't work. God dang it. What we're gonna have to do is either do like... We're gonna have to like await get tree dot process frame. I don't know if that's gonna work. We can try. Oh, you got it? Nice. Yeah, I gotta try that out after stream. I am gonna have to end stream here really soon. I gotta go eat, so yeah, family is waiting. Let's see if this works. Hopefully awaiting the signal for a process frame will fix it, but I don't know. This is the thing that's hard with loading screens, is that you have to give it time to update its appearance. Otherwise it just stays stuck at 0. So it doesn't really seem to be working. I'm not sure how I can make it update without freezing the game, you know what I mean? Unless every single time I updated the value, I would have to tell like the loading sequence to wait again. I'm not sure. See, because just adding a wait doesn't do anything for that. Is there a way I can like force a visual update or something? Can I do like queue redraw? Like, does that work? I'm not sure how this works. No, because that's just going to be for the custom drawing. Yeah, I think you need to stop doing generation stuff and let the next frame happen, then continue. Yeah. Why not have predetermined progress points? I guess I could do that. It would just be more complicated with the code, though. This way I can add a step easily and then just change the number down here instead of having to, like, add another point. I don't know. Is the tree paused during the screen? No, it's not paused, because it's just... What's happening is it's essentially just freezing the game in the background. So yeah. There's an async loading screen system you can do. Oh, yeah. Is that just for loading scenes, though? Because I know you can do, like, async load, but it doesn't... This isn't... I can't do this async. So... The hard coding values would be easier. I mean, I guess I could connect this and then pass a parameter for the value. That could work. I mean, it wouldn't be bad. What I could do, I mean, I guess I could do that. Because I can say, use our little dot bind function. And then I can add an argument, right? So we could say that's like 0.1. And then this one is 1.0, 0.9, 0.75 or something, and like 0.3, just random arbitrary numbers. But, I mean, those are probably about the right distribution. I could mathematically calculate it, I guess, for the time between, but I don't know. It's good enough, honestly. It is pretty arbitrary, but it doesn't really matter. So that could also work. I don't think it fixes our issue still, but yeah. No, I mean, it's still not going to update. How can I do this? So this is throwing errors. Oh, this is still that same one. Godot force control no to visually update. I probably would have to just do a big await thing, which sucks. I don't know how I would do that. I don't know. Maybe I need to work on the loading pipeline so that I can have like breaks inserted into it and stuff. I mean, it should work. There are some in here, like especially in World Generator, where I do like after I emit that, I think I do some awaits, but I don't know. Maybe I don't. I could do this, and then it'll probably update like once. As soon as the resources generate. It didn't even do it. I wonder what's wrong. Maybe it's just not setting the value right. I didn't think about that. Let's make sure that this new value is real. Uh, 0.2. Did some weird stuff. Noise generated, auto tiling finish should be 0.5, but it's still 0.2. So that's kind of weird. I don't know. This is hard. It's tricky. If I had it on a different thread, this progress bar, then but I don't think I can render it and have it on a different thread, which is the issue. Thank you for the cheese time, Zen. What's up? How's it going? Yeah, this is the plight of load screens, so it's pretty late for me. See you next time. Sounds good. Yeah, thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. I'll be live tomorrow, so feel free to pop in then. Yeah, this still doesn't work. I mean, maybe if I could add a wait, just as a test. So let's say after we generate our auto tiling or something. We even do an await here, which is what I find interesting. I'll just await a bunch. I don't think await will actually do it, though. Yeah, it didn't even update, so I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I late, it's okay, no worries. Forcefully update the scene. I don't know. So you can just do like a wait, but it doesn't. Man, I don't know. Field in the nodes or code will basically run them all. Shall hang and then delay the end of the execution of all the functions of the next frame. Yeah, because that's the issue. I can't just do a wait because it won't actually run the frame. The other issue, though, is that I don't want things to run the frame because I have to generate the world first. So it's really hard. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Yeah, I wish like I could just force the viewport to re-render what's on screen and stuff. The terrain was already done? With what? Well, we have the terrain stuff working. I did that earlier today. You can now build new land. Right now we're just working on a loading bar for when you load into a game. The difficulty though that I'm running into is just the fact that the progress bar can't update its like rendered state until the game isn't frozen. But the problem is I can't unfreeze it when I'm loading in save files, so it's really complicated. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. May have to be a problem for another time, I'm not sure. I just wish I could like force a re-render of the screen, right? That's what I want to do. Could I do it with a freaking shader? That would be weird, but... Because something I've always noticed with Godot is that shaders seem to continue to run even when the game is frozen? It's kind of weird, I don't know. Server error. Call update world. Actually. Let's try that. No, it's not real. Unless it's in window. Or maybe we can do it in the display server. Process events? What was that? Let's see what display server can do. Get shape. Force process and drop events. Forces window manager processing while ignoring all input events. Force process and drop events. That might be what we need. I'm not sure though. We'll try it. Probably shouldn't return anything. Touchscreen available. Process events. So let's try force process and drop events. I don't know if it's going to do anything, but we'll see. No. Yeah, I don't know. That's probably just for input stuff then. There might not be any way to really do this. I mean, it would be specifically with the viewport, I guess, right? If there was a function like that. Let's see if we can get a window. No, we got ads. Let's pause. Maybe I can say like window something in here. Mode. Force native. Can draw. Okay. Grab focus, has focus. Hide. Move to foreground. Request attention. Show. No, it's none of that. Unless, I think it has a viewport. I thought. Maybe there's a function of viewport for that. That's just getting stuff. Push input. Update mouse cursor state. I don't think so. That's too bad. I don't think there's any way we're going to be able to do this then. Unless I do some really stupid stuff. Can an animation be updated when certain files have been loaded? Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how can I force the screen to re-render this progress bar whenever we've loaded in a chunk of the game, right? That's what I'm just struggling with right now. Because what it should do is just increase the value like that, and so it shows that it's loading. But it doesn't update because the game is like frozen. So yeah, I don't know if there's a way I can even do it. Indeterminate. Oh, that's weird. Can you use enters tree signal? And what would that like specifically be for? I mean, I don't know. This stays here when I load the game, so I don't have to do enter tree. The signals are being ran. Like when these things happen, it sets the value and everything works, but it just doesn't actually visually update on the screen, and that's the issue, right? So it's just a matter of trying to figure out like is there a way to like force the screen to update in the middle of a frame or anything like that? But I don't think there is. So yeah. I don't know. Unless there's like a function in the control node or something to do it. I really doubt it, but like down in here. Accept event. Pass focus, release focus, reset size. No, there's nothing. Assume stuff is loading when the game freezes, so rendering is paused. Yeah. Can you increment it at a set value, say 0.1 at different triggers, like direct manipulation of the progress bar? That's what I am doing. In the progress bar, I just have these signals connected. I'm literally just setting the value to like 1 and 0.9, 0.3. So I am like directly setting the value. It's just that the rendering, I guess, gets paused when the game slows down, right? So it doesn't render this. It's because like the rendering is the UPS or whatever, the updates per second. So it's, yeah, I don't know if there's a way I can do it. The only way I could think of is if I made it like a shader or something. It's possible force. That's what I've been looking into. I looked through like the display server and all that stuff, but I don't see any way to force a re-render of the screen. So I don't know if it's possible. Redraw. I mean, maybe doing Q redraw would work too. If I did like a custom draw. It's not really what I want to do, but it would work maybe. We'll try it super quick. I do have to leave. Let's just say draw. I'm just gonna draw a circle, and position will just be position. And then radius will be the value. I'm just curious to see if this is like separate. Color will just be color 111, and then filled will be true. Sure. Yeah, I really doubt this will work or do anything, but I'm just curious to see if it does. Oh yeah, it's visible now. Let's see. Oh, why is it still visible? Oh, it's because I didn't. Whoops. Let's relaunch the game. Well, I'm gonna start looking for somebody to raid. If this doesn't work, then yeah, that's it. could raid Maxwell. He's playing Zenless Zone 0. There's all my followed channels. It's Awake. I wish I could raid Awake. We could probably raid Maxwell. No way. Starground command? That's crazy. Yeah, well, we'll probably do that. Let's try this one more time. I see no circle drawing, so I don't think Q redraw works either. Which is too bad. I could say like value times 10 or something, maybe. Maybe it's just too small to see, but I doubt it. No. Unless I can do like... Nah, there's only Q redraw. Yeah, Q's the canvas item to redraw. Is it the canvas item? Maybe. I just want to try that really quick, because might work. So does this just have a function called draw? I don't see it. Get canvas show. So where the heck is the draw function at then? Because it mentions this here. Draw. Is it just an object thing? Node object. So you can just do underscore draw. Does that work? I don't know. Let's try it. No. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some more research on this and see if I can figure out how to do this. Because obviously what I'm doing is not working, so yeah. Oh well. Oh no, I'm not in my Christmas hat. There you go. Alright, well that's gonna be it for today's stream. Thank you everybody for coming, I appreciate it. Thanks for the follows and the resubs. It's always very much appreciated. But yeah, at least we got the terrain generation stuff saving and loading. That's honestly, I'm very happy about that. Because that's kind of a big deal. Next thing for that is just going to be getting it working for clients on multiplayer. Which is going to be a whole nother thing, but hopefully we can do it. Yeah, thank you everybody for coming. Starground is on sale right now for the Christmas sale until I think like January 2nd or something. So if you are interested in getting Starground and trying it out, feel free to grab it. Oh, we're at 69% on the recent. So close to not being mixed ratings on the recent. That sucks. That's okay. Yeah, feel free to check it out. 20% off. I'll be live tomorrow. Feel free to join the Discord. There's all the commands and stuff if you want any of the links. And yeah. That's gonna be it. Thank you everybody for coming. I appreciate it. And I'll be here tomorrow. Same time, 3 p.m. MST or MDT? One of the two. So yeah. We're gonna go ahead and raid Max. Because why not? Yeah, thank you everybody. I'll see you another time. Bye-bye. Oh, wait. We have to wait 10 seconds. one moment. And... okay, we're good. Bye-bye.